Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for round 2 of Super Rugby Pacific. Although this game will feel like round 1 for the Blues, this will be their first matchup and they are up against the Hurricanes. These games, anytime they take place, are always very entertaining, and we have got a couple big debuts taking place here tonight for this matchup at Forsyth Barr Stadium in Dunedin. This is considered as a home game for the Blues, but the big talking point of this game is going to be that midfield of the Blues with Roger Tuivasa-Sheck getting his debut for them coming up in a very short moment. But I hope you guys are all doing well. We have got Viliami in the chat, also Ollie and the Samoan Oos. Hope you guys are all feeling great and looking forward to a game of rugby that we have got coming just around the corner. This is the starting lineup that the Blues have gone with for this matchup at Forsyth Barr. Alex Hodgman, Kurt Eklund, and Nepo Lulala. They will be the front row, and a very solid front row to have in this matchup. Luke Romano making his Blues debut after transferring from the Crusaders last year's Super Rugby. He is now there. He's going to be alongside Josh Goodhue rather than Jack Goodhue, who has spent quite a bit of time with playing for the Crusaders. Looking through, Tom Robertson, the captain, at number 6, Adrian Cho at 7, and then Hoskins Atutu was a very dangerous individual when he gets a little bit of space. He will be at number 8. Finley Christie getting to start at number 9. Got a few All Blacks caps in recent history. Harry Plummer at 10. No sign of Bowden Barrett as of yet, but I assume he's only a couple of weeks away. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, the man's name who can almost not fit into this little bubble. He is going to be there at number 12. Rico Ioane outside him at number 13. Caleb Clark returning to the Blues at number 11. Mark Talia out on the other wing, and then Zahn Sullivan slotting in as the fullback for the Blues. We have also got the Iron back, Hi Hamish from Dwubs, and James and Nathan and Moorcake. I hope everyone's doing well. Do let me know your score predictions for this match, ladies and gentlemen. We are only sitting around about 15 minutes away from the kickoff of this game, but we've got plenty to talk about when it comes to these two sides. Looking through at the Hurricanes starting lineup for this matchup: Porty Rakiti Stones, Asafa Mua, and then Tyrell Lomax. There is the front row, James Blackwell, I should say, and Jason Sangster, who did play very well last week in his his Hurricanes debut. He will be there at number 5. Reed Prinsep, Blake Gibson. He is actually an ex-Blues player starting this matchup for the Hurricanes, and then Artie Savia. He will be at number 8. Jamie Booth at 9. Jackson Garden Bishop gets a start at 10 rather than Ruben Love, who did start the last match last week up against the Crusaders. Julian Savia, the bus, going to be at number 12. Balin Sullivan at 13. So a whole new midfield here for the Hurricanes. Wes Wilson out on one wing. Salisi Rayasi gets the start here out on the other. And then Geordie Barrett slotting in at number 15 for the Hurricanes. I got the Blues winning in there. And also 42-35, the Canes winning. I got the Hurricanes winning this game by 7. So there's more cake there for the prediction. And it is certainly going to be an exciting one. But the two backlines that these two sides have got is just going to be it's going to be physical, it's going to be fast-paced, and it's going to be an absolutely phenomenal game of rugby. Ricky Riccatelli for the Blues up against his old side in the Hurricanes. There's quite a bit of that for this matchup. Players going up against their old sides for this one. Ofa Tuangafasi at number 17, and then Marcel Renata at 18. Sam Derry, Anton Segner gets to make his debut for the Blues. Plays very well for Tasman, and the Bunnings NPC now gets the opportunity to take it to the next level of Super Rugby. Sam Knock at number 21, Stephen Perafeta at number 22, and then Tanielo Talia, he is number 23. Jacob Devery, Xavier Numia, and then the very experienced Ben May at number 18. Devon Flanders and Braden Iosi, normally they try and pick either one or the other. They've decided why not have both for this matchup, and that is exactly what they have gone with. Richard Judd, Ruben Love, and then Peter Umaga Jensen going to be there as number 23. Now, this game, I have a bit of a feeling it's either going to be a low-scoring close one or an out-and-out just scoring try-fest for this match, which will, of course, be great because every try scored, it is going to be Tonga to get $500 for the Tsunami Relief, and Geordie Barrett will play for the Blues in 2024, says Jimmy. Imagine a Barrett combo at the Blues. That's the thing. The Blues don't even need him with the back line that they have got at the moment. They've got Zahn Sullivan as an up-and-coming young number 15. Also, if they do need him, Stephen Perafeta can slot in at number 15 quite well. And I thought this was tomorrow, says James Gaming. It originally actually was, but due to the game between the Chiefs and Moana Pacifica getting postponed, that has actually rearranged the game. So I should actually mention about the other games that are taking place. As you can see here, that game did get moved to Sunday to give the Moana Pacifica side as much of a chance of being able to play that game as possible. Unfortunately, games still cannot take place. So because of it, it does mean that it is going to be the Blues moving from that Sunday afternoon straight into Saturday in our middle of the card match, which originally was actually going to be Highlanders versus Crusaders, although that game took place yesterday on Friday night. And then the game after this one, Rebels versus Western Force, we will also be covering that game on the channel. This is the table as it sits, although one difference is the Brumbies, they did receive themselves a full 5 points, so they are sitting top of the table at the moment. That's the wrong table. One moment, we'll go down, we'll get the right one. There we go. So they will actually be sitting above the Crusaders at this current point in time. So it's Brumbies, Crusaders, Reds, Waratahs, and now the Blues sitting there in 8th. They haven't played a game as of yet. The Hurricanes lost their first game up against Crusaders by 10 points, but they'll be looking to bounce back, get themselves a victory here, and get themselves on the right track. And also, too, just come back from the beach. Says Rio Gamer, it is good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you in a little while. Who are you going for in this match? Even though I feel like I don't even need to ask that question, but how many points do you think they'll win by? It's probably the better one in the Hurricanes colours from Crazy NZ. And I searched it up and he's saying at the Hurricanes, says more kicking. How can I watch this in the US? Anyone know? I believe your option is Flow Rugby. If you have got a subscription for them, I think Flow Rugby does have these games. And if not, I think there's a Sansa website that you can possibly watch the game from. Although it does have a season pass subscription. I'm saying everything as if it's a question because I'm not 100% sure, but I believe Flow Rugby is the best bet if you are in the US. And also, if you do just want to see the highlights of this game, highly recommend Super Rugby YouTube channel, All Blacks YouTube channel, Stan Sport YouTube channel. I think they are the three main ones that will end up having the highlights of these games. And there should be plenty of them because we've got some talented players that will be making their way out onto the field here. These two sides, I'm excited to see who is going to be able to get themselves a win because it could be anyone in this matchup. Who's this? That's the Fijian draw. Who's this? There we go. That's the Hurricanes. No, is it? Yes, it is. That is the team we were after, looking at their next fixtures that they have got for themselves. Their next game, it is actually going to be up against the Highlanders. That is next week, then followed by Moana Pacifica, followed then by the Chiefs, and then Moana Pacifica once again. They will be playing them twice in a matter of 3 weeks. But that should be a very, very exciting one when we do get to see them in action. They're looking through at the Crusaders. That is not the Crusaders. That's the Rebels. Where's the Crusaders disappeared to? I think the Crusaders are hiding because I think I've got everyone but the Crusaders. Yeah, I do. Okay, the Crusaders are missing at this current point in time, so we won't actually have who they are playing next. But I know that next week they are going to be playing up against Moana Pacifica, and I got the Blues winning by 8. Says Caleb there. I think this is going to be a little bit closer than, I guess, some people are saying maybe one of the teams winning by 15. But the thing is, Forsyth Barr will bring out the best in both of these sides. You don't have to worry about wind. You don't have to worry about rain. You can just go out there, do your cross kicks, do your wide cutout passes, give it to Roger Tuivasa-Sheck in the midfield to run straight at the bus, Julian Savia, and see who gets the better. And that's a Force. And there's Morkate. Yeah, so it has gone missing. Crusaders won. We had everyone else except for them who has decided to go on a walkabout at this stage. But currently, the game that was going to be on Sunday, Chiefs versus Moana Pacifica, it is still yet to be confirmed of when that game will be able to take place. But the Crusaders are supposed to be taking on Moana Pacifica next week. So hopefully that game can still take place. But currently, we are sitting around 10 minutes away from the start of this game. Like I mentioned, the Rebels, they are playing the Western Force a little bit later on tonight. And we will also be covering that game alongside the 2 games of the Six Nations that are coming up tonight. 3:15 a.m. is when the first one is taking place. And that is going to be France taking on Scotland at Murrayfield. Should be an outstanding game, followed by 5:45 a.m. England taking on Wales. 2 good games of rugby. And then after that, we have got the test match that we will be doing for day 3 in New Zealand versus South Africa. And then after that, we got Ireland taking on Italy. Has a nice close out to the weekend. I also got to go have a shower. I will be back. And there's more cakes. So you still got time before the kickoff, so no panic there, mate. And also Canes by 128,392. Says Crazy NZ. Oh, it's a good prediction. I can see where that number would come from. I'm going to have a quick look at something here. Just out of curiosity, if you were to go on the TAB and for this game that is taking place between the Blues and the Hurricanes, if you were to say that one of these teams are going to win it by, if you say one of these teams is going to win it by 51 plus, it's paying $61 or $81. So imagine how much 128,000 was paying for that one. I feel like that would be a number that they can't even go to on the TAB. You're probably looking at the millions. If you got $1, be sure to stick it on there, Crazy NZ, and hope for the best. Fingers crossed. And also, hopefully, Scotland can beat France for some positive signs before Rugby World Cup 2023. And if they can't beat them at least have it as a close game, I think would be ideal. I've just realized I've got a random stadium. In fact, I think it's actually Murrayfield behind me. Excited for the Six Nations. I'll go down here and we will go like this. We'll go like this. We'll click this button. And now with the magic of green screenery, as I like to call it, we will go and we will put ourselves inside of Forsyth Barr. There we go. We've teleported. Time zone's completely different now. At the moment in New Zealand, we're sitting 6:57 p.m. So hopefully this game is going to be a great one and well and truly keep us hyped up for the third game. Rebels taking on the Western Force, which could be affected by rain. The good news is we don't have to worry about rain because we are inside of a stadium with a roof, which always is very exciting. But currently now we will go like this and we will go like this. At the moment, Zahn Sullivan, Balin Sullivan, both going to be in their starting lineups individually. The Balin Sullivan for the Hurricanes. He's actually come from the Chiefs. He played very well in the first match up against the Crusaders, which is why he has earned himself a starting position in this game. I have to go soon. And while Hamish just teleported in there, says, does it also Hamish Black Cats 157 for 5 at the end of day 2. Colin de Grandhomme attacking 50. Still trailed by 207 runs. South Africa ahead in the test. So yeah, there's still a lot of work to do for the Black Cats in that game. But we will be covering some of that one tomorrow at day 3 of that test match. And then we've still got day 4 and 5 that we will be able to do as well. Currently, Zahn Sullivan, both in the starting lineups, the Sullivan brothers. And like they're saying, it's very hard for possibly their parents to try and decide who do they want to go for in this matchup. Normally, that's the thing. We could have seen, if Bowden Barrett was playing, we could have seen 2 sets of brothers going head-to-head. Also, hi all, says MH, welcome into the live stream, mate. What's the temperature looking like at the moment? It's about to rain here, says James Gaming. Hopefully, it doesn't get too damp for you, because I know that it's supposed to be extremely wet in Australia, and most regions of Australia, that is, and New Zealand, I think we're supposed to get a little bit more of it, as we have currently got in the US. Stan Sports is the option, says MH. Oh, do they actually have Stan Sports in the US? Might be a good option. I know Flow Rugby also is one that can be considered, and also we have got there. Can you give us the full team list? I should say. Sure can. One moment, we will go like this, and we will pop them up on the screen so you guys can see exactly who is out there for the Blues. They have gone with Alex Hodgman, Kurt Eklund, and Nepo Lalala as the front row. Luke Romano and Josh Goodhue as the locks, and then Tom Robinson, Adrian Choate, and Hoskins Atutu as the loose forward trio. Finley Christie and Harry Plummer make up the 9-10. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck on debut for the Blues here, and he is accompanied by a big time player, Rico Ioane. I was about to say big boy, but really that's Caleb Clark, who is out on the left wing, who is solid, made a muscle, and will be trying to hustle his way down the touchline. Mark Talia there at number 14, and then Zahn Sullivan is at number 15 to close out the starting lineup here for the Blues. Then looking through at the Hurricanes, they have got Pori Rakiti Stones, Asafa Mua, who is a dangerous bulldozer in that front row, and then Tyrell Lomax at number 3. James Blackwell and Jason Sangster make up the 2 locks. Reed Prinsep, Blake Gibson, and Artie Savia as the loose forward trio. Jamie Booth and Jackson Garden Bishop to be there. I've just realized how many of the names for the Hurricanes start with J. They've got plenty of them for that first name basis. But yeah, Jamie Booth, Jackson Garden Bishop as 9-10. Julian Savia in the midfield, moving from the left wing where he was last week. Balin Sullivan at 13, getting a big opportunity here after coming off the bench in last week's fixture up against the Crusaders. Salisi Rayasi gets his first start and first game for the Hurricanes this year. Wes Husson out on the other wing, and then Geordie Barrett at number 15 to close out the starting lineup. Looking through at the bench, Ricky Riccatelli up against his own old side in the Hurricanes. Ofa Tuangafasi and Marcel Renata, the 17 and 18. Sam Derry, and Anton Segner will be having his debut for this matchup after playing for Tasman in the Bunnings NBC. Sam Knock, Stephen Perofeta, and Tanielo Talia will be the rest of the backline replacements for the Blues. The Hurricanes, Jason Dery, who will be there at 16. Xavier Numia and Ben May as the rest of the front row replacements. Devin Flanders, Braden Iosi as the 2 loose forwards that they might be able to go with. Richard Judd, Ruben Love, and then Peter Umanga Jensen as the last player for the Hurricanes off their bench. Those are the starting lineups, and also up the Blues. And there's Cesc Karina, and it will be awesome to see the Blues in action. They were supposed to play last week. We did miss out on that game due to positive cases for Moana Pacifica, but now that the Blues are here, they will be ready to go. They want to prove themselves as defending champs of Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. Tell you what, the Hurricanes kit looks extremely bright when it hasn't got any dirt on it whatsoever. And thanks, bro, for the team list, says Lauricia. No worries at all, mate. And currently now, do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who will be the first try scorer in this game, the exact player. They are isolating Asafa Moore here for the Hurricanes. He is a phenomenal talent to get a little bit of time in the All Blacks kit recently. Like, that's the thing. There are All Blacks scattered all throughout these two sides. For the Hurricanes, you've got Asafa Moore, you've got Tyrell Lomax, you've got Ardie Savea into that full back. Then ex-All Blacks in the back line, and Julian Savea was a brilliant option. Future All Blacks as well with Salesi Rayasi, Geordie Barrett coming from the All Blacks. Also, Mark Talia says Nathan Sim, who will be able to score the first try, of course, out on the right wing. Someone who is very close to All Black selection, but always seems to just miss out for himself. But Salesi Rayasi, since last year, you will notice he has grown some hair on the top of his head and also a bit of a beard. So he is really looking like he is ready to go for this game. And it seems to be, I haven't seen any real crazy hairstyles this year. Last year, we had the hairstyles such as pink, had such of, who else do we have? We have pink hair, blue hair, random mullets, and also on Ardie Savea scores. And I think the first try will be Caleb Clark. Says Caleb there, but we will put up the team lineups one more time. There we go. There are the Blues for this match. And for myself, if I had to look through and pick a player to really say is going to step up in this game, I think Rieko Ioane is so important for Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, because Sheck, or Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, I should say, in his first game here, all he wants is to be able to get his hands on the ball, get a little bit of something going, maybe just learn the back line of the Blues in an actual matchup. This is his first game in the Super Rugby Pacific competition, or any Super Rugby competition. I know that preseason is a little bit different. There was a lot of rain around for that game, I believe, and Garden Bishop scores first. And there says Ross Bird. I know there's a lot of people who aren't a fan of Jackson Garner-Bishop, but a good opportunity now for him to be able to go on and get himself a possible try here in this game and really set up. I mean, when you got Crash Ball and Julian Savea on the outside, like, that is going to be a pretty dangerous backline here, setting up with Salesi Rayasi, Wes Husson, and Geordie Barrett as the back three. And didn't Romano play for the Crusaders? He did make the substitution or the switch over, and Blake Gibson, he was playing for the Blues. So that everyone's doing that at the moment. Ricky Riccatelli off the bench for the Blues in this match rather than the Hurricanes. Everyone's switching around for this season of Super Rugby, but it does mean it's a lot more exciting because you never know who's going to be popping up for these sides. I believe at the moment Waisaki Naholo in talks with the Crusaders and maybe making an appearance at some stage. I know his brother Kinney has signed, but with Sever Reese, with George Bridge, Whainā Nuku all out on the wing, it's going to be tough to get any minutes, which is why Manasa Mataele made the transfer to the Western Force, and he is going to be playing later on tonight up against the Rebels, and we are also going to be covering that game on the channel. But I do appreciate every single one of you for being here. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. The boys are about to make their way out onto the field. Julian Savea and Ardie Savea, the brothers playing together. Akira Ioane not here for the Blues, which does mean that it is going to be only one side out of these two that have got a set of brothers on the field. Although, talking of brothers, Balin Sullivan versus, it is going to be the other Sullivan brother, Zahn Sullivan at fullback, and Wes Wilson scores first, says Power Force, and let's go, says Tesla, and also cheers all, says David the Mob. But currently now Julian Savea, 55 tries in his 133 matches of his Super Rugby career. He's played a lot of games here. He's been playing in France more recently, but he's back here now for the Hurricanes, and we'll be excited to, I guess, kind of, it's always one of those ones that when there's a player on debut who is on the other side and you're marking him, you always want to give him a nice greeting. So I feel like Julian Savea, he's going to give Roger Tuivasa-Sheck a good old shot to the ribcage, say, welcome to Super Rugby, but Tuivasa-Sheck, he's the type of player, he'll give him one right back and probably would double the force, even though that's very hard to do when you're going up against a bus. But it is going to be Tuivasa-Sheck's quick feet in the midfield alongside the very pacey Rieko Ioane. But his debut tonight for Super Rugby Pacific, matches in the NRL, 195 and 58 tries in the NRL. At the age of 28, he's still in his prime, and he is going to be excited to get to come out here for the Blues and try and make an impact in the Super Rugby competition. Hey, David, in there says Tesla Chisel. And there says David the Morning. He has got the Kieran emoji. But this game I'm very excited for. I think you guys can tell already that I cannot wait for this game to get underway. The Hurricanes taking on the Blues. It's going to be absolutely awesome to see how it goes. Currently, they are just talking about the two players who did actually pass away yesterday, I believe it was, for the All Blacks. Two players in the same day, as always. I guess even just one player in a day is rough, but then two players, Fiji International, 7 tests for that man, but they are having a minute's silence. And also Hurricanes are playing the Chiefs at Sky Stadium on the 19th of March. Are you going to that game, Henry, if they do allow crowds at it? And also we've got that hey from Max Cottle. But welcome, and mate, hope you're doing well. Be sure to get your score predictions in the chat as well. Currently, I do see very concentrated players there. Peter Umaga Jensen, I think off the bench will be a good asset to have for the Hurricanes. Geordie Barrett in the starting lineup. A little bit more experience, or a lot more experience, in fact, than young Zahn Sullivan. But Zahn Sullivan's kicking game has come a long way in recent times. Artie Savia at the moment is going to be ready to go. He has got his brother Julian right next to him up the Canes. Yeah, boy. Into there says Paddy Wagon. This is going to be an out-and-out pace battle, an out-and-out strength battle between these two sides. And that is why it's going to be an awesome way to start a Saturday for New Zealand Super Rugby. The last game of the round, the two sides now are going to be ready to go. Tom Robinson's got the ball in hand. He won't be kicking it off, though, I wouldn't think. He would if he was allowed, I would say. I mean, as the captain, you're allowed to make those decisions, so surely you can just put in the drop kick. Now it is going to be James Dolman in charge of this one, Paul Williams, and also Marcus Playley, maybe, is the pronunciation there. Chris Hart is going to be on the TMO. It will be the Blues who will be kicking off this game at Forsyth Barr. I just wish they were allowed a crowd for this game, because they would be going absolutely berserk at the moment for this game between the two sides. Jason Sangster, they are showing at the moment the young Kyle Mills, as I called him. Kyle Mills with headgear. It's about the best way of describing that man, but I love these kits, the blue and the yellow. Hurricanes here up against the Blues for the second game of round 2 of Super Rugby Pacific for the New Zealand side of things. No game between the Chiefs and Moana Pacifica, but this game will certainly deliver for that game also. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck's debut. This game's getting kicked off, ladies and gentlemen. Blues taking on the Hurricanes, and we are underway, taken nicely there by Blake Gibson at number 7. First touch for his side in the Hurricanes, and he has actually switched from the Blues. Currently now, they have got this ball about 30 metres out. Alex Hodgman making the tackle there. And currently the Hurricanes, I mean, it's one of those ones that they will have to try. Make sure they don't give up the ball too early. I believe it's been stolen there, though, by the Blues. The coverage for Sky is actually frozen. Now it's back. Okay, that is good news. They're currently 15 metres out here for the Blues. Going back across to Hoskins, a 2-2. And now Finley Christie going to be building up the face play. Big Tom Robinson, the big red, as they like to call him, trying to spin out of the tackle of a Safa-Mua. Penalty to the Hurricanes there, and I believe it was Luke Romano coming in through the side. Oh, in fact, it might have been Alex Hodgman. No, it was Luke Romano. Tell you what, he's wearing the blue kit. He looks like he's bulked up over the off-season here, Luke Romano. He's looking like a solid individual. Now, Geordie Barrett will be able to kick it downfield, and also let's go Blues. And they're from Uncaged Panther and Rogers' debut. Yeah, a massive opportunity for Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. It was actually stripped there by Josh Goodhue in the breakdown. It had frozen for me on Sky Go, but now did get to see that little moment of Safa-Mua. Throws it in, almost stolen there by Josh Goodhue, though, who has got that one. I believe it's going to be 50-50. It's on the side of the Blues. And now going back, Finley Christie 2, Hoskins to 2-2. And I think everyone is just awaiting that first touch from Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. He's got the ball in hand now, tries to go straight through the gap. He's got back up to his feet and bounces out of the first tackle. Now going to be Finley Christie across to, it will be number 4 for this game, which is Luke Romano. And like they're saying, it seems very weird to see him in a Blues cap. Wide cut out pass there from Rieko Ioane. Now out onto the winger, who is actually Tom Robinson in this situation. Benefits of being the captain. You can be wherever you want. It's going to be the penalty to the Blues from about 38 metres out. Probably a kickable penalty with no wind, but it's whether or not they decide to go for it. Jackson Garden Bishop, the player penalised there for not rolling away quick enough. And let's go in there from Uncaged Panther. Currently, I think it is great that Roger Tuivasa-Sheck has already had that first touch. You want to have it early just to get your hands on the ball, get it out of your mind. And now there's going to be Harry Plummer, in fact, kicking for the corner here. It just tells you how physical and how aggressive, I guess you could say, they are going to be in this game. The Blues went straight to Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, broke through the tackle of Balin Sullivan and Julian Savia. That first touch. And also Rico is my uncle. And there's his Uncaged. So I assume Akira Ioane, is he also your uncle, or is it slightly different side? Oh, but now taken nicely by Josh Goodhue. Trying to get this rolling maul going forward here for the Blues, and it continues to march. Kurt Eklund at the back with this one in hand. And this is a very nice rolling maul for the Blues, making about 10 to 15 metres already so far. and still just waiting. They haven't been told to use it yet as it is still continuing. Just creep forward. I believe Tom Robertson has received this one now. Now going back to Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, goes straight through, offload to Rieko Ioane. Meter short, gets back to his feet. And they are going to be just short of the line here for the Blues, who will be able to go over the line. Tom Robertson gets this ball. Good carry forward from Big Red. He's going to be dragged down nicely. Or is he? He's on his back. I believe he's going to be held up. Yes, he is. And it is a goal line dropout now for the Hurricanes. But desperate defense from them that had to be made, because the Blues are looking like they're going to be playing a very attacking game of rugby for the first 5 minutes of this matchup. This 80 minutes isn't going to feel like long enough. It was a great offload from Roger Tuivasa-Sheck straight to the man on the outside, Rieko Ioane, and them as appearing in the midfield is going to be dangerous for any defense, no matter who it is. But big Tom Robertson almost able to fall over the line, get the ball down, but just missed out. Goal line drop out there, taken nicely there now. And Caleb Clark now, he's starting to build up. Runs straight at James Blackwell and bounces off the tackle, but then does end up going down, I should say. Eklund now around the side. Currently 30 metres out here for the Blues. Finley Christie fires it back. Nice backline movement. Plummer goes across to Zahn Sullivan now. Mark Talia, he's got a man with him. And Tom Robertson decides against using him. That's the thing. Everyone in that Blues backline is a playmaker and has the potential of being able to go over the line multiple times in a matchup. Finley Christie now, ball is available for him. Goes flat to Harry Plummer once again. Trying to spin out of that tackle. Finley Christie looking to the short side tackle. Nice and early there by Adrian Choate. In fact, it was Blake Gibson was able to drag him down. He'll 10 out. 7 phases in now for the Blues. Nepo Lulala with his carry. This Blues side is stacked. Like the names that I'm starting to read out, and the more that I mention them, the more I realize how good this side can be in Super Rugby. Hoskins Tutu now goes back across the Safa Moore, missing the tackle, but Princep able to make it just out in front of the post now for the Blues, continuing to use those big forwards. They've got the advantage as well here. Now Tom Robinson got this ball in hand. He's got Hodgman with him. Instead decides to take the contact himself. Still 5 metres out here. 11 phases here for the Blues, firing the ball back to Mark Talia. I will say doesn't pass too often, Mark Talia. It's probably something of his game he would like to work on in the future. Currently now Christie goes back across. Wide cut out pass to Nepo Lulala. Not able to find that offload. Still phase after 14. Harry Plummer, that ball's gone through the hands of Geordie Barrett. Is it a deliberate knockdown? It might be, and it could be a yellow card. No, they're going back for the original penalty. And who do you think is going to win? And there's his uncaged and buy in there. I would say this game's going to be a tough one to decide on. But I think whoever wins it by less than 10. And also get big Tom Robinson in the AB squad ASAP. Those soft forwards need a man with heart. There says Johnny plays. And also a hope of red emojis. Or orange emojis, in fact, I should say. What do they do here? Do they take the 3? I think they're taking the 3 here for the Blues. So that will give them just a little bit of an early lead at this point in time. But Geordie Barrett, he's having to work hard. He's actually already got a black eye. I don't know how he got that maybe in training, but it was in the end. He went up. It did, in the end, go straight through his hand because he did go with 2 hands at the ball rather than slapping it down with 1. That is why it is considered as just going back for the knock-on. But Caleb Clark, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Rieko Ioane, Mark Talia, all led by Harry Plummer, I guess, at number 10, and Finley Christie as the 9. But Harry Plummer now, he will be the man of the moment, remembered for his performance in that Super Rugby Trans-Tasman final last year up against the Highlanders, which I should mention. Blues were able to win that one. That's gone straight over from Harry Plummer, and the score now sits as 3-0 in favour to the Blues, and they have been able to get their Super Rugby season off with a bang, and they have got themselves their first lead. Currently now, Caleb Clark, he is a big individual. Adi Savi, also big individual. Like some of these combinations we're going to get to see, like Caleb Clark, imagine if he runs straight at Julian Savia or something along those lines. We're going to get to see some dream matchups in this game. And the best thing is we get to see it again in about 5 weeks' time because these two sides will be playing off once again. Currently kicked high, taken by Mark Talia. Now in the hands of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Good step, and he is tackled by Julian Savia there, just outside of the 22. And then Christie does put up the box kick to get a couple opportunities for the ABs last year. Going to be an awkward one today. Geordie Barrett doesn't get it cleanly, and the option for either a line out or a scrum feed will be there now. I believe the Blues will take the line out. They've got a strong rolling maul, and they might be able to make that extra 10 or 15 metres for themselves there as well. Scrum or line out. They've said line out. They're set for the line out. Oh, no, they've gone. We want a scrum instead. Geordie Barrett did end up just going a little bit forward. It was him and Mark Talia both contesting for the ball, and I agree. And there says Betty Wagon. Apparently Mark Talia giving it a bit of a clap. Geordie Barrett, a little bit of a shaky start to this match, but he's still got plenty of potential. He had a good game last week up against the Crusaders. They were defeated 42 points to 32 for that game. But currently, we have got one more game this round of Super Rugby Pacific, and that is going to be the game taking place between the Rebels and the Western Force. And that should be, it's actually a completely 50-50 game at the moment in terms of the live odds. Who's going to be able to go on and get the win? I know that the Rebels started as slight betting favourites, but then from there, it's just completely even. The pack weights at the moment, 904 kgs of the Blues up against the 899 kgs. I thought for a second that was Tom Robertson putting the ball in, but then I realised it was Finley Christie. That would be an interesting one. Put Christie in the scrum and Tom Robertson plays the halfback, but now Roger Tuivasa-Sheck once again stepping. It looks like he's going to be a handful for defenders at the moment. Definitely for Jackson Garden-Bishop. Does have to mark him a majority of the time now. Luke Romano throwing himself forward. Artie Savia trying to get straight on the ball. Could have been a neck roll there. Going to be the advantage, though, I believe, for either the knock-on or a penalty advantage there. Little knock-on against Artie Savia. There's the referee a tap on the stomach. Says, yeah, nah, probably a right call there. Savia, they had to make sure that they cleaned him out early or else he was just literally right on the ball. He goes down, boom. And then James Blackwell in the end. They ended up having to roll away at an all-time record almost pace. Try and get out of there. But now it's going to be another scrum for the Blues. The front rows, Hodgman, Eklund, and Nepololala up against the front row of the Hurricanes in the form of, it is going to be, who's the number one? I've forgotten who it is already. I know Xavier Numi off the bench. Pori Rakiti Stones, Asafa Amoa, and Tyrell Lomax. It's the other man there, Romano and Blues colours traitor. Says, it looks weird because how long was he at the Crusaders? Very long time, I believe. So yeah, to see him in Blues colours rather than his classic Crusaders always feels very weird to look at. I think our eyes will slowly get used to it, but until then, we'll just be like, has he put on the wrong colour kit for today? Finley Christie now firing it off to Roger Tuivasa-Sheck on the outside to Rico Ioane. Now he's got Caleb Clark with him. Can't quite link up though. Currently 30 metres out here for the Blues. Tom Robertson now plays halfback. Finley Christie first receiver. Goodhue. Quick hands to Hodgman. They continue to build to the right-hand side now, instead going to the short side here, which is the near side of Forsyth Barr. Caleb Clark takes the carry. Quick recycle there. Tom Robertson once again taking the halfback jersey. I think he wants that number 9. Turn his 6 upside down, and then he is going to be all good to go. Although turning a shirt upside down is probably quite a tricky thing to do. I'm sure it would be fine for the neck room, but it's probably the kind of putting it on down the bottom would be the big problem. Finley Christie, 30 metres out. Still Oscar Saturu passes back to Harry Plummer. Tries to pierce the gap himself. Dragged down there by Sangster. Is he taken out from the side from Luke Romano? That breakdown possibly, but it is play on. Just for now, Rico Ioane goes back to Satutu. Once again, trying to pierce his way through 11 minutes through this match, and we are still at a stalemate of neither side being able to score themselves a try, although there are some points on the ball for the Blues. Now Mark Talia once again. It's going to be a nice tackle there from Salisi Rayasi. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck plays halfback. Christie goes back to Plummer. Big attack and run from Nepololala. Ripped away by Lomax. They're going back for the original penalty advantage, I believe it is. Offside call. Okay, Justin Sangster is the player who has been penalised there for being offside. So 3 penalties so far against the Hurricanes in the first 11 minutes. 3 points to the Blues. They could double this here. Get towards 6. Jeez, he looks like Kyle Mills. Anyone who doesn't know who Jason Sangster is, look up Kyle Mills. Photoshop some headgear on him. That's who he is. And you'll see him running around on the field. But Roger Tuivasa-Sheck at the moment, we can see already that they do need to lure in 2 defenders every time. Whereas with Mark Talia, I think the thing that really would benefit him is that extra passing option, because all of a sudden you do lure in 2 defenders to you rather than just the one-on-one. Because if he's not going to offload, everyone just knows, right, well, you've got him and he's not going to go, and game going fast. So far, says Nathan Simmer, has indeed. And like I said, 80 minutes isn't going to be long enough between these two sides. So Roger Tuivasa-Sheck at the moment looks like he's got a smile on his face, enjoying his time at the Blues here in the midfield. And why wouldn't you when you got Rico Ioane, Caleb Clark all alongside you? But Harry Plummer here going to have the 3 points available. Try and take it on once again. Like they're saying, 195 games in the NRL, and only at the age of 28, he's got a bright future for the Blues. And also maybe, I know a lot of people saying All Blacks contention could be coming in the future, but Harry Plummer now, after 13 minutes, is looking to double the score and give them a 6-0 lead. Lines it up. Strikes it all right. Strikes it badly. He missed it. Okay. That was not expected from Harry Plummer. He hasn't quite been able to nail that one. And now the score will remain as 3-0 in favour of the Blues. Geordie Barrett just kicks it downfield and drop goal. Or Whainanoku over Helen Clark's son, Caleb. And there from Johnny Blaze. Currently sitting 45 metres out. Finley Christie firing it back to Hodgman. Nice backline movement opening up here. It's going to be Zahn Sullivan, and the mullet is just kind of, I guess you could say it was flourishing in the wind, even though there's no wind. Artie Savia almost was able to turn that one over. Finley Christie now going to the short side to Caleb Clark. And a breakthrough, but good low tackle from Balin Sullivan, the other Sullivan brother who is playing in this match. Hodgman, great inside ball to Josh Goodhue. Straight down 40 metres out. That was a big clean out on Wes Hudson or Jamie Booth. Went rolling backwards. Zahn Sullivan, wide cutout pass. Salisi Rayasi snipes. And that is going to be the first try of the match, and it is scored by the Hurricanes. Puts it down, and the Hurricanes score the try. And just like that, almost first attacking move of the day for the Hurricanes. It was a wide cutout pass from Harry Plummer, and it didn't find the hands that he was after Sheck playing. He's looking good so far. He has been elusive in the way that he's bouncing straight back up to his feet. And it seems like he is going to be fitting into that midfield very nicely. But he has also got a good offload game, and we know that from the NRL. But Salisi Rayasi scores the first try of the match now for the Hurricanes, and that is going to be in the 14th minute that they have been able to convert that one into points. We'll go like that, and the conversion has gone over, and now the score is going to be 7-0 in favour. And what a beauty, says Desley, and it was just a freebie. Oh, it was Zahn Sullivan, in fact, with the wide cutout pass straight to Salisi Rayasi. Holds the ball in one hand, risky play, then swaps it to the other hand. Puts the ball down and gets his season underway with a try there. And also Lowell says this, and also let's go, says Paddy Wagon. But that is going to be a try for Tonga. Every try scored $500 towards Tonga, and currently they have raised a total of, I believe that would be $22,500 for it in the black and yellow. And they're from Paddy Wagon. But currently now 7-0 in favour of the Hurricanes. Not what the Blues would have been after such a strong start. They have really not had too many opportunities to get that attack going, the Hurricanes. The Blues have been all attacking so far. And also Jason Holland takes no start. So Lisa Rayasi every game over Julian Savia. There says Johnny Blaze. Yeah, it is good to see him out there. Caleb Clark going up for that one, not able to turn it over. And James Blackwell retain that one. By the Hurricanes, it's a counter ruck though from the Blues, fighting hard back for it there. The Hurricanes are able to just retain it. Carden Bishop kicking it downfield, not allowed to find touch on the full. So it was taken back. Nice take from Zahn Sullivan now. And he has got a very good kick in behind. Normally gets the 50-22 right in the right place. Goes straight to Jackson Garden Bishop there, who runs it out of his own 22. Nailed almost. And that tackle down back towards Caleb Clark. Firing it back across now. And I believe that's Harry Plummer. It is indeed. Will be going for the kick in behind. He's almost been smacked by Reed Princep straight into the hands of Geordie Barrett. When you give this man this much space, he can put on a big old kick. He's going for the 50-22 now, going in behind. Straight to, it was Zahn Sullivan taking it just outside of the 22. Let's go, Canes. And there's his Demus, or Demus. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Now taken nicely by Jackson Garden Bishop. Tuivasa-Sheck on him. And it is going to be the penalty. And in the end, I believe that was playing a man on the ground for Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Now, of course, in league, if the player is on the ground, normally we see a player really drop into him, but you're not allowed to do that in Union. And he has been penalised for that one. And also Go Kane says Stanley Murphy. Good kick downfield from Geordie Barrett. But pretty much because Jackson Garden Bishop was on the ground there, you're not allowed to make the tackle. And the way that Roger Tuivasa-Sheck did, I believe he was actually trying to go for the turnover and the breakdown, but just got the timing a little bit off there. Safa throws it in. He taken nicely by James Blackwell. In the end, Robinson actually went to the front. Blackwell in the middle. So able to take it nicely. Currently 17 minutes into this game, and it has been about as hectic of a pace as everyone expected it to be here. Currently, it should be a very exciting last 60 minutes of this game, that is for sure. So these two sides, they get to play again in the later stages of Super Rugby, which is always, I mean, anytime we see a New Zealand derby, it's always a treat. But the Hurricanes at the moment up to 5 phases in the middle of the field. Jamie Booth goes back now to Jackson Garden Bishop, going to the short side out to Blake Gibson. Does break through. One tackle, but tackled in the end by Caleb Clark. I believe he got through Tuivasa-Sheck, which is not a very easy feat to do. Now Sangster running hard at Nepal Olala, and Big Tom Robinson got the knees down. So they do have to release him. Booth once again looking to the short side, going to the hands of, I believe that was Balin Sullivan. I wonder how many times we will get to see those two go at each other. And also, we've got the Hikey Village. How's it going? Says Barry Green. Going very well. Thank you, mate. And also Barry Green, the legend, and good to you early in the morning. Good to see you early in the morning. And we have still got the Six Nations that we are going to be doing a little bit later on, also alongside the Rebels taking on the Western Force. Hurricanes still on the halfway line up to 11 phases now. Geordie Barrett, first receiver, goes straight through the tackle of Finley Christie. Finds the offload back to Artie Savia, sells that massive dummy that he is known for. Currently, this is good phase play from the Hurricanes. And also we have got there a shout out to the boys in quarantine, Perth. As I says to Must there, going to the short sides and suffer and more. The ball's been stripped. And I believe that will now be the option of, in fact, it will be a line out, I believe. It's actually going to be ripped away by the Blues. So Asafa Moa, it's either going to be the scrum or the line out now. What do they decide on? Artie Savia will be in charge of this one. Everyone looks at him. Just go the line out. He says they're already there. Currently leading by 4 points here early on. The Hurricanes up against the strong Blues outfit. Taken nicely by Sangster. Fires it back to Booth now. First receiver in, I believe it was Wes Hulson, in fact. Now trying to steal that one in the breakdown. It's going to be nicely done. No, it's not. It's very rough from the Hurricanes. It looked like they regathered quite nicely. I don't know whether or not you're allowed to go in there like that for re-princep. But now Geordie Barrett's got their hands on the ball trying to go through the tackle. That is going to be slightly forward, I believe. This is getting a little bit scrappy at the moment. And it's gone into the hands of Josh Goodhue. So the turnover is good for the Blues. After many handling errors in a row from both sides, Hoskins Satutu puts the kick in behind. That is something you don't expect to see every day. Although saying that, Valentini actually did nail the kick. That was brilliantly done from Salisi Reasi, finding it off to Jackson Garner-Bishop, who kicks it well and truly down. Brilliant clearance, and it's going to be inside of the half now for the Blues. But Salisi Reasi in the end, Hoskins Satutu forgot he has the number 8 on his jersey, and he has Roger Tuivasa-Sheck hit any rucks yet. And there's his Johnny Blaze. I think the only one I can think of so far is the one that he did get penalised in. But I think so far with his running game, it has been pretty impressive. Go the Canes, says Kiwi 2D. And they're there, but now Kurt Eklund with the line-out throw. They will be going straight to Robinson. A little bit shaky for them. But now Adrian Chope breaking off a Safa trying to slow him down. He's broken through. Good attack and run from the Blues. Number 7, Satutu around the side. Finds the offload to Hodgman now. Wasn't quite able to link up with Finley Christie. Still continues to try and break through the tackles. It's got to be a Safa Moa's ball. It is. Turned it over now. Jamie Booth flicks it out the back. Going to be out to Wes Horson. They're actually running backwards at the moment here for the Hurricanes. But now Geordie Barrett able to put a big kick on it. Going downfield, taken very nicely by Zahn Sullivan. And now the counter-attack is on for the Blues. Going almost straight through. His brother Balin was able to make the tackle in the end. Mark Talia now breaking. It's Alisa Darcy trying to turn it over. Now Christie goes back. At the moment, this game is being played at a frantic pace. My voice is not going to exist after this game if they continue at this speed. Still going to be available for the Blues on the 22 now. Caleb Clark, wide cutout pass. Adrian Chote out to big Tom Robinson. Down the wing, great low tag on him by Wes Horson. And straight on the ball almost for Geordie Barrett. He's turned it over for the Hurricanes. Brilliant work from the fullback. They've been told to use it here. Currently now, Jamie Booth, I believe he will be firing this back into the pocket. No, not quite. Porty Rackety Stones first. That looked a little bit high. And the contact. And now Jamie Booth fires it back to Garden Bishop. And he does end up clearing it downfield. The angle wasn't great, so he was never going to be able to get a huge amount of distance up the cane in there. And thanks, mate, says Barry Green to Johnny. But currently, it's a good backline movement. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck out to Choke. Then it was Robinson down the wing. Absolutely brilliantly done by Wes Hulson, though. Tying up the ankle. Geordie Barrett straight on the ball. And does end up turning it over. Or turning it over, I should say. But now the Blues, they are still in a good attacking position. Only 21 minutes into this game. I'm loving the fact that the first 10 minutes went quick. And now the clock has really slowed down and we get to see plenty more of the action between these two sides. I see a Sam Knock lurking in the background. He will be on the field later on. No Jonathan Ruru at the moment for the Blues. Also mentioning the 19 combo. No Otedi Black. He is in Japan at the moment. Getting himself a nice big contract and a good old payday. But currently Kurt Eklund now going to be at the back of this rolling ball. It looks like all of the Hurricanes players are actually on the Blues side, so they will have to leave that one. And now it's Porty Rackety Stones and also trying to stop them by himself. It's not going to work out. Kurt Eklund off the back. And that is going to be the first try of the match now for the Blues. And it seems like, I mean, it's interesting. That one, Finley Christie, he was trying to recreate that moment that had the Blues and Beauden Barrett. If we do remember all the Hurricanes and Beauden Barrett in the past, he was trying to recreate it. And just no one got involved, unfortunately, for him. So that one didn't quite work out. But Eklund was able to score that try in the 22nd minute And now they've done very nicely. They started rolling around to the side a little bit, and then from there, breaking off the back, it was Eklund who got the little pop pass, and it was Blake Gibson for the Hurricanes that they were trying to get involved in the celebration and up the Canes. And there's and also Jordy B and Zahn Sullivan in my opinion, are both tall, long, limbed FBs in there. Yeah, Finley Christie trying to get Blake Gibson involved in that one. I feel like he's going to get a massive shot to the ribcage later on now. And also we've got there who's in Japan, Otiri Blank in there. Says Johnny Blaze. We've got quite a few players in Japan at the moment, don't we? For New Zealand. Ash Dixon, a big one for the Highlanders, decided to make his way overseas. Who else has gone to Japan? Who else we got? I can't quite think of who else we got in Japan. Ash Dixon, Otiri Black, Damian McKenzie. How did I forget that man? That is why Josh Ioane was brought in for the Chiefs. But Harry Plummer now currently sitting 8 points to 7 here. With that kick to come. Would be a very nice kick to get for him and give them a 3-point lead after 24 minutes. That one's down the middle. He has found the radar that time, and that is now going to make the score 10 points to the Blues and 7 to the Hurricanes. So getting the lead back, and Kurt Eklund, that man, been scoring tries for fun recently, and he has done just that. D-Mac as well, says Nathan Sim. Who else are the big players we got? I guess for the Blues, Gerard Cowley Tuioti is another player who has gone away to Japan. Very talented lock, and I believe that's why they brought in Luke Romano, try and fill a bit of that gap, but it's kicked off long. Plummer takes it inside of the 22 now to Roger Tuivasa-Sheck running straight and hard. It's been dragged down by Blake Gibson. Now going back, it's going to be a kick high from Finley Christie, who wants it at the moment. It's taken beautifully by Mark Talia, dragged down by Rackety Stones. Now going to the short side. Nepololali's done well to hang on to that because didn't have a lot of space to be able to really make the most of it. Alex Hodgman now around the side. And it is Artie Savi able to drag him down and high. Hoskins in there. Says Uncaged Panther. At the moment, Hoskins the doo-doo at number 8 for this matchup and has been looking dangerous. Caleb Clark goes up for it, doesn't quite get it. Now he does have it. It now passes off to Robinson. Little knock on, though, from Clark. Can't believe it. But it's going to be the knock on. And love to see Roger Tuivasa-Sheck in action, says Benny. And yeah, that's pretty awesome seeing him, like, not just in any Super Rugby team, but at the Blues, where you've got Caleb Clark, Rico Ioane as two of the players who are alongside you. Like, he's going to have a fun time in the midfield with Rico Ioane. Like, they're going to be offloading to each other. They're going to be running it quick, doing a few steps along the way. And that is why, like, I feel like he's a brilliant signing to have in that midfield for them. I'm over the Blues assistant coach, Craig McGrath, having a little bit of a chat to him. He's almost, I would say, defying gravity in the way that he's got his headset sitting. He's got them almost fully backwards, yet somehow still staying on the head. Impressive for that man. I feel like that's a weird praise to give, but I am impressed because anytime I try and do that, my head's not wide enough. Like, it just slips down. Like, no matter the size of the headset, like, I could probably find a small enough, like a child's headset, but I don't normally go around stealing children's headsets, which saying that statement makes it sound like I do, but I can promise you that I don't. Tom Robinson doing a bit of breakdancing on the ground, and that one has gone into touch there. Taking it quickly, Finley Christie decides to take it. Now Zahn Sullivan goes back across Mark Talia. They've got Rico Ioane on the outside, kicks it in behind. And now Rico, he looks back at Mark Talia as if to say, why did you kick that way? Geordie Barrett, some nice silky skills by the touchline. You're able to keep that ball in the field of play. It's going to Finley Christie, who takes it nicely. Ducks under the tackle of Barrett, but now he's got a bigger Suffer Moore lining him up, which is not what you want to see when you look up. Artie Savi around the side. Mark Talia now trying to pierce his way through. And also go the Blues, says Leo L there. 40 metres out from the line. Finley Christie goes back now. Plummer to Sullivan in the midfield. One more cutout pass to Tutu. They've got Adrian Choate now. Tom Robinson. All the loose forwards getting involved. And that's something that the Blues do very well, is they do use those big forwards as if they were wingers, but they have the power of that fullback. So Tutu now playing halfback. As it back across the Nepololala. Harry Plummer, a little bit of a juggle there, which did mean that the back line was halted. The last thing that the Blues want here is another cutout pass. Rico Ioane himself to carry around straight at Artie Savia, trying to slip his way through the tackle. A Suffer more straight on the ball. Is that a penalty? I think that was almost a knock on. And now Alex Hodgman passes it across to Nepololala. Tackle low by Pori Rackety Stones. That's a good turnover from Sangster, and he wins the penalty. And Hamish, what is your plans for job and work this year? Says Danny Lewis. At this point in time, I think it depends on what happens in terms of cases and whatnot, because it's probably like, it just depends on what you are able to really do at this current time. But so far this year, we've probably done I don't even know how many hours of live streams we've done, but we're probably going to be doing YouTube full-time for the first few months until I can't financially support myself from YouTube, and then I'll have to get myself a part-time or full-time job, and hopefully by then maybe the numbers have gone down a little bit more. But Harry Plummer at the moment, kicking this one in behind. Going up with that high box kick. Taken nicely there by Harry Plummer. Does claim it. Goes wide cutout pass out to Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Trying to step through. Offload to Josh Goodhue. Only 10 metres out now for the Blues. But a good tackle from Blackwell. Actually drives them back about 5 metres. Ioane out to Plummer now. They've got Caleb Clark on the outside if they decide to use him. Balin Sullivan stepping around everyone though. Not able to find the offloads. Still in the breakdown. It's going to be available for the Blues. Looking to the short side here. Caleb Clark flat run. Straight through the gap. And he scores his first try of the season there for Caleb Clark. And that is going to be the second try of the match for the Blues. Just dangerous. When they get any form of space, they will make you pay. And that is exactly what Caleb Clark has been able to do. It was a flat pass straight into his hands, exactly where you wanted in the bread basket. And Caleb Clark able to get over the line and score himself the try. And also we have got there where you meant to study this here. Not really. I was looking at something to do with broadcasting, but it would probably be if I did it from home. Would be the better option. And how is Roger Tuivasa-Sheck doing, bro? I just tuned in. Has he made any good plays? He is dangerous with the ball in hand. We've seen for the Warriors, he was phenomenal in terms of breaking tackles and also finding that offload. And he has been able to do just that. He's been a little bit rough in the breakdown at time. You said Baylor, not Zahn. Sorry about that one. Both brothers playing in this one, but it was Zahn Sullivan breaking through for that one. And damn, this is entertainment, boys, says Tesla. And Caleb Clark, flat run. And it was just a gap next to the breakdown. You had to send the defenders wide. Hurricanes disappointed with that one, although you kind of just got to look at it and go, geez, that was a good one. Well, you don't really like having tries scored against you in any matter of the game, but that was a nice one for the Blues. And now Harry Plummer will be lining up the kick, but currently 15 points to 7 in favour of the Blues now. And Harry Plummer, 2 from 3 so far tonight. Actually missing almost the easiest kick of the day, I guess you could say there. But currently now we are 29 and 3/4 of the way through. So I guess 30 minutes is a nice, easy way of putting it once this kick does go over. Forsyth Barr, this game, if we had a crowd for it, everyone would be going absolutely crazy. Geordie Barrett almost able to get up onto that one with the charge down, but just misses out. And now the score goes over. Already 3 tries in this game have been scored, which does mean $1,500 for the Tonga Tsunami Relief Fund. And also Go Kane says junior rider and that one. So they will have to fight back hard after a great step from it was Zahn Sullivan linking up. Finley Christie sees a short ball straight to Caleb Clark. And at this stage, 74 metres gained in 3 phases there. And that is what we are going to be dealing with throughout this whole match. Julian Savia. It's Luke Romano charging straight out and gets back up to his feet. Goes again, the big man. Sangster, though, straight in the breakdown. Referee was going to give the penalty. Decided against it. He had his arm about 3/4 of the way up. Someone's headgear's come off. It is Kyle Mills / Jason Sangster. If you look at him, very similar for those. So I wonder if they're related, just different last names. Going to be high. Geordie Barrett taking it nicely. And now charging back through Geordie Barrett. Trying to pierce the line. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck makes the tackle. Jamie Booth now linking up nicely. And up to the 22 now. Tom Robinson cleaned out on the 22. The Highlanders, the Hurricanes. I'm used to saying the Highlanders because we're at Forsyth Barr. Safa-Mua driving a couple more men forward. Booth goes out to the left-hand side. Tyrell Lomax now continues to go forward. I believe that's Hoskins Tudu and Jack Goodhue both, or Josh Goodhue trying to get on the ball. Just missing out. And so why are there no fans? It is because of case numbers. Sadly, we are unable to have a crowd. They have decided for these games. I think they're allowed like 100 in attendance or something along those lines. But now Julian Savia once again getting another carry forward. James Blackwell. And this is just good phase play from the Hurricanes. They've already hit 10+ phases today. Can they do it again? Porirakiri Stones once again is able to make a couple extra meters. He had a very good season in the Bunnings NBC for Hawke's Bay. Kicks it in behind here. Sits up for Wes Houston. And he's going to score the try there. And Wes Houston has been able to get the try. And this game is just back and forth, back and forth. The money is raining at the moment for the Tonga Relief Fund. And Wes Houston is the man who has been able to score it. Only 32 minutes and only a few minutes after the last try of this match. And we've already got another one. It's a good kick in behind. That time, I believe it was Balin Sullivan setting up the try. But Geordie Barrett able to pierce the gap and shot Clark. And there says Leo L. And also Go Blues says Uncaged Panther. And we have lots of cases. Today was over 13K. And Harry Plummer at number 12 was such a silly idea. Says Johnny Blades. Wait, Harry Plummer at 12 or is it 10 at the moment for this game. But that is going to be Wes Wilson scoring that try of a little kick in behind from Balin Sullivan. Geez, those brothers look similar. And Isaac Clark at a best, or is a beast, says Uncaged Panther. And Julian's at 12. I didn't even realise this. Yeah, they did go with him there so that they could have Salisi Rayasi out on the left wing. But now Geordie Barrett can be lining up this kick. This is a high-scoring game between these two sides. That is for sure. 1 from 1 so far for Geordie. And he had to it and make it only a 3-point contest. We've only had 33 minutes of this game. This is almost a full-time score of a game. Lines it up, strikes it nicely. And also, what a game we have, lads. The Tongan Monarchy will be happy with a 500 per try. They will pocket, says Johnny Blaze there. Currently already 4 tries scored in this matchup, 33 minutes into it. Like, that's the thing. A bonus point in some other competitions around the world is if you score 4 tries, you get the bonus point. In this competition, you need 3 or more tries than your opponent, which now means that for either side to get themselves a bonus point, they need to stop the other side from scoring for 1, but also score an extra 3 on top of that. It's going to be a high-scoring second half, I have a feeling. Definitely because we haven't got any wind, we haven't got any rain, and we have got Super Rugby Pacific at its finest here. Caleb Clark taking that one off the kickoff, and he has been able to retain it once again now for the Blues. They've been looking strong, off getting their own kickoffs here. Luke Romano continues to drive his way forward, going at both of the locks for the Hurricanes. 22 metres out. Plummer now goes back across. Sullivan in the midfield. That is Zahn. Off to Plummer now. Lured in nicely. Rico Ioane got Mark Delia. He doesn't pass it. Should have passed it. Finds the offload now to Adrian Choate. It's not going to matter, or is it? Yes, they are just still 1 metre short, but that was a run-in for Mark Delia, and he will be gutted that he wasn't able to get it. It looks like Finley Christie was pointing at him. Instead goes back across to Plummer. Now Roger Tuivasa-Sheck running back. He's looking dangerous. It's all wide. How did he get that pass away? It went forward, though. How did he even throw that one? It looked like he kind of did a weird. And also, we get there high from Jacob there. Welcome in to the live stream. And also, Beast. Oh, best game of the comp so far. Says Crazy NZ and also Johnny there in the chat. But Roger Tuivasa-Sheck just not quite able to find that offload out to Clark. It still went to him. It just travelled forward a tad. But that was a give me try for Mark Delia. But Rico, to say that he sometimes gets a bit greedy could be a statement that a lot of people would agree with. They're gone for the corner now. And Crazy me brethren. Or my brethren, I should say. That was a brilliant offload. This was the chance. Rico Ioane there should have been the pass out to Mark Delia, and he would have been able to score. I thought it almost didn't matter because Adrian Choate almost got over the line, but Mark Delia doesn't quite get over. Nicely taken by Josh Goodyear. It was a hard take for him, but now they're rolling more. I believe Hodgman and Eklund right at the back. Who has stopped this one? Eklund now has received the transfer. Hurricanes trying to stop this one from creeping forward, but the 4-pack of the Blues just a little bit too big, too strong. Metre short now, and a suffer more is lurking. Now they push their over, and Eklund gets a second, 35 minutes in, and that is going to be another try. It's just try after try after try after try after try at the moment in this game. That is 5 tries in the first 35 minutes. And it is brilliantly done by Kurt Eklund. And also, we've got their score to be tight, says Benny there. And Rico still not passed to the ball, says Crazy NZ. And also, when is Freaky Ricky going to learn to pass the damn ball? Glory unto that boy in there. This is very nicely done by the Blues. Rolling over the try line once again for Kurt Eklund. His second try of the day already. We're still in the first half. And whoever it is off the bench, it's Ricky Riccatelli. He will be sitting there licking his chops at the moment, waiting for his opportunity to make his way out there. And you heard that right. Ricky Riccatelli coming off the bench for the Blues. Did go there after playing for the Hurricanes last season. And so glad the Blues are finally playing, says Rises. And it is awesome to see them in action. They have got a talent pool that is stacked for themselves. And currently, they just keep on going and going and going. Like, both of these sides surely are going to get tired heading into the second half, you would think. But the pace hasn't slowed down as of yet. They just continue to go. What was that? Is that Adrian Choate practicing his swimming, I think, to just pop down in front of the camera? I think he was warming up the shoulders, but it kind of looked like he was all of a sudden swimming into the lens. And also go the Blues, says Leo, and it is a very nice try. They've already got a total of 3 tries. Apparently now Harry Plummer, though, will be lining up this kick. Taking a couple of deep breaths. Taking his time. Lining it up. Trying to make sure that it goes over. And he does get it straight down the middle. So the score going to be now 24 points to 14. And then they're the only good thing coming out of Auckland at the moment, says Rises there. Apparently Leon McDonald, he'll be a very happy man, I would think, with the way that they've been attacking. Same, I guess you could say same with the Hurricanes attack coach, because at the end of the day, both of these sides just keep on going back and forth. Now, is Rico playing Hamish? I guess the easiest way to say how Rico is playing is for himself at this point in time. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck gets up, goes again, penalty against him, unfortunately, but just get him back up to his feet. And he is disappointed with that one. And also, we have got the Ohio you're cheering for. At this stage, I'm from the South Island, so that just means that I can go for both of these sides and just absolutely love this game. And also, we have got there with the emoji from Leo, but now kicking for the corner. Geordie Barrett 10 metres out, so that is 2 penalties so far against Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. That was going to be expected, though, as it is his first game in Super Rugby Pacific for the Union side of it. And he used to actually play Union for first 15, I think he was a Union player, transferred to the NRL 200 caps later, or almost 200 caps. Now passing it back to Asafa Moa and High says game on, dude. And they're welcome into Livestream I. Hope you're doing well. Currently around the side there for Adi Savia, getting rolled forward. Currently 10 metres out of the Blues for Life Toko in there. And also especially those protests today. There's the Risers, but now going back. Arden Bishop off to Balin Sullivan. It's in the midfield. I'm going to get him and Zahn Sullivan confused a few times, because if they literally change shirts and like switch teams, I wouldn't even be able to tell, I don't think, other than maybe Zahn's got a couple more or a couple less tattoos on one of his arm, I think is the best way of describing them. They've both got a similar haircut. They go to the same barber. Now Adi Savia around the side, 5 metres out, trying to get those lead drives going for himself. Sangster now around the side, couple extra metres. And Roger Tuivasa-Sheck trying to turn that one over. Safa Miller says, no, you don't. Adi Savia now getting back down to the ground, a metre short now for the Hurricanes. And they are looking to fire back. And the try for try contest knocked on there. Or was it? Yes, it was. Just a little knock on from, I believe it would have been Tyrell Lomax, just a little bit too far out in front of him. Not the best pass from Booth. And it does mean that it is going to be a scrum feed for the Blues. 30. Oh, no, it's actually Reed Princep who passes it across Tyrell Lomax. Not the pass that you want in St. Barber. And there it says Nazi Williams. And there I'm putting, I don't know whether or not I can go down that track for the kind of what's happening in the world at the moment. Luckily, we got rugby, though. And also would not have complained. And there it says Risers. But currently now, the captain, Adi Savia, already having, I believe there was 8 carries in this match. Also making 6 tackles. He's been busy for the Hurricanes. And go Canes to get that execution right. Oh, okay, Kurt Eklund is currently still down. Is he going to be all right? Don't know. He looks like he's a little bit ginger on that left leg. Not as ginger as Robinson and Christie, though. They are a little bit further that way. But currently 5 metres out from the line. It's going to be the scrum feed. It's going to be a tricky one for the Blues, because, of course, you want to win that penalty just to relieve some of the pressure. But if they use up enough time, they've got 25 seconds, then they're able to kick it into touch. And also, you're like saying what the commentary say as I says game on, dude. I can't actually properly hear them. I only hear what they say for their names. I think overall, I think at the moment, as soon as I talk, I can't actually hear them. Unfortunately, and go Blues, says Tristan, and also, mate, Blues, mate. And there says Leo L for that one. But currently now, Finley Christie will be feeding that one in. And the Hurricanes, and there says Johnny Blaze. 25 seconds left. I made it, Ryan. I'm going for the Blues because of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. There it says Ryan. So I hope you are doing well. And so far, other than giving away a couple penalties, he has been looking pretty solid on attack here. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck off the back there. Hoskins a 2-2 backing himself to bounce off, and Kane's not taking opportunities as usual. Says Crazy and although we've still got 40 more minutes. I believe that's going to be close to a turnover there for Julian Savia in the breakdown if they can hang on. No. Just using up a little bit more time. Still 9 minutes left, or 9 seconds left, I should say. They've been told to use it. Firing it back. And now Harry Plummer kicks it into touch. Does the siren sound? Oh, the Hurricanes still have time. So that is going to be a big opportunity for them now. I got the Blues -6 and there. So currently, it's only going to be about 5 minutes out. He tried to get some extra height on that one, Harry Plummer. Try and use up a bit more time. But now the Hurricanes, they're looking for the ball. They've found it. And now 20, or actually 15 metres out it is going to be now. They have got a perfect attacking opportunity. Stolen by Big Red, though, Tom Robertson. And did you hear about those rugby players? Sadly passed away here, 2 in the same day, which is always a shame. That's actually why they had the minute silence, and they've got the black armbands before the match. Or they've kept the black armbands on, of course, this one. But currently halftime in this game, and it is going to be 24-14 here in what has been a frantically paced first half of Super Rugby Pacific between these two sides. The Blues' very first game that they have got for themselves. And currently now they are going to continue to probably play at their pace in the second half. And Blues got the horsepower in there, says Leo. And currently, I mean, looking through at the benches for these two sides, they have certainly got plenty of talent. These are the two benches. Ricky Riccatelli going to be slotting in there as the Blues replacement for this matchup rather than the Hurricanes where he was last season. Ofa Tuangafasi, Marcel Renata, Sam Derry, Anton Segner will get his opportunity in the loose forward trio. I assume that will be for Adrian Choate, more than likely. They'll leave out Satutu and also Robinson. Then Sam Knox, Stephen Perofeta, and Tanelo Talia will be there at 23. Jacob Devery, Xavier Numia, Ben May. It's the front row replacement for the Hurricanes. Devon Flanders and Brandon Iosi, two very good options for that loose forward trio as well. And then after that, one moment, we'll go like this. We have also got there Richard Judd, Ruben Love, and then Peter Umaga Jensen will be the other man that they have got as their replacement option. So two very good benches for this one. And also Inga the winger, or Inga the man. And there it says it was Nazi. And also we have got the Inga the winger from It Was a Game On Dude, and also Mate My Blues. And then that's right. And also Rip Inga the winger and Joe Rokokoko. And there was it Joe Rokokoko? No, it wasn't, was it? Or was it? And Die for the Blues. And there, and also Bye from Game On Dude. We will see you later on. And 3 missed tries last week. 1 now get yo ticker together, amigos. And it wasn't a great first half, my opinion. And there says Jake. So I guess what would you say would have made it a better first half, Jake? Out of curiosity. And also, I don't know anything about rugby. I used Google predictions, kept saying minus 6.5 for the Blues. What do you think, says Ray? I'd say it's a decent one, although the Hurricanes are a side that always fight back, like in the Super Rugby. Like in that game last week up against the Crusaders, they did end up getting back to 42-32, but it was still a 10 points different. And Joe Valderi in there. And also we have got there, where are you currently? I am in the South Island, halfway in between Forsyth Barr, which is behind me, and also Orange Theory Stadium, if you know where that is. So South Canterbury is probably the easiest way describing where I am. Also, do you think Roger Tuivasa-Sheck will be an All Black? Not yet. I think more than likely he won't make the All Blacks before 30. I think he'll need a couple years in union. We've seen already in this game, he's still got, I guess, like when you play 195 games, like you're always going to have some sort of league. I guess almost it's going to become second instinct. So he gave away 2 penalties for things that in league you probably are more likely going to be allowed to do. And also RP Jolie Videri, I should say, and also By, and also definitely AB. And there says my game at it, and also Gerbro says Hamish Smith, and it was too slow, says Jake Lacey. And tell you what, if that was too slow, it's probably lucky it was that speed, because if it was any quicker, I don't know whether or not I would have been able to continue saying names at the pace and finish those games off in the second half. Blues, what your tip for France against Scotland? Says Jason. Oh, it's a tough game because it's at Murrayfield, which is the only ground I feel that Scotland can beat France. Like if it was in France, I'd say France 110%. But because it is in Scotland, there's just that extra little bit of spirit from the Scottish. I'm going to say France sneak it, but I wouldn't be surprised if Scotland can get that game. And hi from Uncaged Panther, welcome in. And also we have got there the amount of balls lost to the Blues in contact by the Canes just hurts me too much, says Clem the Fox there. Currently looking through at some of the stats for that first half. 3 tries for the Blues, 2 tries for the Hurricanes. Meters carried, the Blues have actually had 336 compared to the 144 of the Hurricanes. So a big difference between those two sides. But even 144 and a half is pretty good for the Hurricanes. Like the fact that that is like way below what the Blues have had just shows how impressive the Blues have been. Although the Blues have actually had double the carries for that one. Defenders beaten 13 by the Blues, 11 by the Hurricanes. 3 clean breaks apiece. These two sides, 7 offloads from the Blues, including 1 from Roger Tuivasa-Sheck that we did see. 13 missed tackles though for the Hurricanes after their 93 93 tackles that they were able to make. 55 tackles from the Blues and 11 missed tackles. Hey, says Ali Hills, welcome into the live stream. And the France, or the Franks are going to booty pump the Scots. Hello, Blues, and you are the coolest person I know, says Ollie Wilson. Do you know a lot of people, out of curiosity? Although you always have people over, so I guess I'll take that. Thank you very much. We're currently sitting 4 penalties apiece between these two sides, and also 34% possession for the Hurricanes, 66 for the Blues. And boys are looking good. Still, though, a full half to play. Rico should have passed that ball to come on. And it says West Side. Yeah, that one was a given try for Mark Talia. And he just went, nah, I'm taking this one on. And the worst thing is, they were a meter short and they didn't get over the line in the end for that one. So it would have been a great one to set up. It would have been a team try, but it became a solo star moment for Rieko Ioane, and he did end up blowing it. Unfortunately, everyone in the back line, overall, Caleb Clark, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Rieko Ioane, Mark Talia, and Zahn Sullivan, all having over 35 meters, the most of which actually being with Zahn Sullivan, who is sitting there on 58 meters carried, 6 carries and 2 defenders beaten. Another stat that I'm going to talk about quickly, 2 defenders beaten for Rieko Ioane, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Caleb Clark, and also it was Zahn Sullivan who has had a clean break alongside Caleb Clark. So a lot of meters carried for that backline. Canes will probably focus on ball possession this second half. I think they've got to. They've got to work out a way of stopping that Blues attack, but also just to give themselves a bit of a chance. Elise Reasi having 54 meters carried. That was actually almost all in that one carry of the interception, which is where that first try came from for himself. 54 meters carried, 2 carries, 1 defender beaten, 1 clean break. And then Geordie Barrett also been busy. 4 defenders beaten, the most out of anyone. Artie Savia sitting there with 3. Enrico, stop being a show pony and pass the ball. Says Drew there. Yeah, he certainly should have passed that one. Because, I mean, I did mention it earlier on as well. Mark Talia sometimes can get a little bit similar to Rieko in terms of not passing that ball when he should have, but that one had to go on the outside. Geordie Barrett was lured in. He wasn't even facing Mark Talia. So that would have been just a nice, easy pass it over. Mark Talia scores in the corner. And your side get the extra try. And tries are going to be crucial in this game because we've already seen so many of them. We've seen Reasi Hussein scoring for the Hurricanes. And then for the Blues, it has been Eklund twice, although he looks like he's favouring a little bit of a left knee injury at the moment. And then Caleb Clark was able to get the other. And also Clem there has said Artie's leg drive would power a whole nation. Last 5 minutes was evidence of it. Yeah, that man... Like, you got to literally have both legs tied up together. Like, if they're separate, if you got one man on one leg, one man on the other, he's still just going to try and march it forward and continue to make those extra meters. But currently 7 tackles made by Adrian Choate, the most out of any player there for the Blues. And then for the Hurricanes, only one man reaching double figures so far. Few men close, which is Artie Savia, Blake Gibson, and also Julian Savia, all making the 9 tackles. So the Savia brothers working hard for this one. And Jamie Booth also having the 9, I should mention. But the one man bringing up 10 tackles, 10 for Pori Raketi Stones in the front row working hard. And Hope Canes bump back the second half. And Artie is the ultimate man crush on that legend. And there says Johnny there. And currently he will be hoping to crush his way over the ball or over the try line in the second half. And also probably get his hands on the ball in the breakdown. Couple more turnovers would be huge for them. Justin Sangster, Geordie Barrett, actually the only 2 men who have got a turnover one for the Hurricanes. Then Hoskins, a 2-2, and Luke Romano, the 2 for the Blues, who have been able to get themselves the turnover. But currently, as we sit in this game with the score being 24 points to 14, it is actually $1.10 the Blues are paying compared to the $5.75 in this matchup for the Hurricanes. So currently, Kurt Eklund was one of the try scorers. In fact, he scored twice. Caleb Clark, another one of the try scorers, and now Hoskins, a 2-2. He will be lurking off the back of that scrum. I feel like he will be a good option. Artie's at 12. The ABs are, what do you reckon? I mean, I want to say yes, but I feel like people would be like, nah, you can't put him there. But I mean, he just powers forward, doesn't he? And the Blues 34-24, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck to get a try next half. Says a rugby opinion here for the prediction. And I mean, the way that he's been looking in this first half, the thing I've liked about Roger Tuivasa-Sheck is, yes, he has had a few solo carries, but he's known when to offload the ball. And I feel like that is something that in league, like if you've got that ability in NRL or any rugby league competition, knowing exactly when to offload a ball and when to take contact is a skill that you just like build up over years and years and years. And Roger Tuivasa-Sheck has got that. And having Rieko Ioane with him, having Caleb Clark, Mark Talia, all in that back line. And then you've got Big Tom Robinson, Hoskins, the 2-2, all going to be lurking next to that breakdown as well. Like it's going to be an exciting year for the Blues in the back line, I would say. And they want to try and defend that Super Rugby Trans-Tasman that they were able to win last year up against the Highlanders in the final. But currently, the game that I think a lot of people are looking forward to would be Blues versus Crusaders. It's coming up relatively soon. I believe I've got the teams here somewhere. Who's that? That's the Hurricanes. Does that mean this is going to be the Blues? No, that's the Rebels. What about this one? Is this the Blues? That is the Blues, right. We have got to wait 22 or so days till we get to see the Hurricanes the Crusaders taking on the Blues. It's actually going to be an afternoon game on the Sunday. It always seems to be an afternoon game when the Crusaders take on the Blues. But next week they've got the Chiefs, what should be a good North Island derby. Then they've got the Highlanders, a rematch of the Super Rugby Trans-Tasman final. And then they have also got the Highlanders only 2 weeks after. And that will be on Saturday, the 26th of March, which is only 30 days away. In fact, probably 28 now. And Mohamedi is in the chat and said, how are you? I'm doing very well. Thank you, mate. It is good to see you. Once again, currently the Blues are leading this game after scoring 3 tries compared to the 2. And go to Warriors. And there says Nazi there. And their game, anyone wondering about the New Zealand Warriors side or are they called the New Zealand? Yeah, they are. New Zealand Warriors. Their game that was going to be taking place up against the Titans. It has been moved to Monday for the next game. And Artie would get bored at 12, says Drew. Yeah, they always want to get in the breakdown. And I play Rugby League Live 4 and was super useless as fast AF compared to Rugby Challenge 4. Yeah, me and George are terrible at Rugby Challenge. And actually Rugby League Live. We've got them worse. Recently, and love your rugby commentary, bro, says Anaru. Thank you very much, mate. And go to Warriors. And Nick Minute says Nazi. And I guess that's a good question. Now that Roger Tuivasa-Sheck has gone from the Warriors, where does everyone see them finishing in the NRL? If you are an NRL fan, of course, let me know. Top 8? Do you think they can get to the top 8? But currently, we've probably only got another 2 minutes or so before we get to the second half of this match. Like I mentioned, the benches for these two sides, they've still got some stars that have got plenty of power and plenty of skill. The likes of Ricky Riccatelli off a rolling maul will be looking for a third hooker try in this matchup for the Blues. And also off a Tuivasa, Anton Segna on debut, Sam Nock, Stephen Pierafetta, and then Taniela Talia will be the replacements for the backline. And looking through at the Hurricanes, I'd say experience of Ben May is probably a very useful thing to have, although it's going to be up against Ofa Tuivasa, which is not going to be a very easy day at the office. Stephen Flanders and Brayden Iosi, both great for the individual Bunnings NBC teams. Flanders playing for Hawke's Bay, Brayden Iosi playing for Manawatu. Then Ruben Love, the youngster, will be hoping to come off the bench and have an impact. Peter Umaga Jensen also has been looking very strong when he does play. He actually finished his, I believe it was his Super Rugby season last year, Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, finished it on a high alongside Billy Proctor, his teammate, for that one at Warriors all day. And this is the year, says Drew. Also, you're saying they're going all the way to win it. I assume that is. I feel like that would be a rough one for Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, wouldn't it? If they won it, the Warriors, the 1 year that he left. And well, what a first start, says David the Mod, exactly right. And everyone just seems like they are going to be playing at a frantic pace for the second half of the game as well. And also, who is RTS? So RTS is Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and he is the new number 12. He played for the Warriors in the NRL for a very long time. And one in Spooners, as per usual, I gave up my support for the Warriors 8 years ago. I couldn't keep the faith. And Roger Tuivasa-Sheck as well, says Clem the Fox. But currently at halftime, Eklund scoring 2 tries, Clark getting the other. And I'll say, hey, how's it? And they're from Ellie to David the Mod. Score at the moment, 24 points to 14 in favour of the Blues. There were still 2 tries for the Hurricanes, though. Both wingers, Rayasi and Wes Wilson, both able to score themselves one. I don't know if I spelled it wrong. My bad. I think you've done well there. I'm not the best at spelling anyway, but I think that is correct. I'm spelling Chris Gibbs at the moment. He said when they've got the ball in hand, when they're hanging on to it, it's looking good, but they need to do that a little bit longer. In this one, if they do want a good chance, Harry Plummer missing one of the penalty kicks, but other than that, 100% for the rest of the kickers in this game. Possession 67% in favour of the Blues. Like I mentioned, Hurricanes not really getting too much of that ball in the first half. Time in the opposition 22, 5 minutes 13 for the Blues and 2 minutes 44 for the Hurricanes. Currently a few more line breaks for the Blues as well, with it sitting at 4-2 and a lot more offloads they've gone with. In which class today? It is just the stock standard tool one from the other day. Or not from the other day, but the same as the last time that you asked, I believe. It does look the same. That is the same of the set. So it's 4 a.m. here in Chile. I've missed a letter or two, says Clem the Fox. Yeah, what, 4 a.m. to watch a game of Super Rugby is very impressive. And David, bro, how's it? Much love. And then go the Hurricanes. And or the Hurricanes, I think that is from Tesla. But currently now it is going to be an unchanged backline by the looks of it for the Blues. And currently in the 4-pack, they have gone with the exact same for the Hurricanes also. Currently the battle, Hoskins to Tutu, going to be up against Artie Savia. That's going to be a good one. But yeah, unchanged front row, unchanged backline for the Hurricanes. Also, Geordie Barrett will need a big second half. Tesla, me brother. Hope all is well, mate. Send him a love. Says Johnny. And also, hey, Ellie, I'm well. How are you? And also, brother. And there says David the Mob. But now the second half of this game about to get underway. very exciting stuff here for Super Rugby between these two sides, but it is going to be the Hurricanes kicking off this one to the Blues. It's inside of the 22, and Alex Hodgman does take it down. And currently now, Finley Christie will be feeding this ball possibly into the skies. And Forsyth Barr does get plenty of height. And keep the faith, my friend. Warriors have caused fans a lot of headaches. This will be the year. Says Drew, that's going to be out about 42 metres down. What's up, Johnny, brother? To you too, mate. Much love. Says Des, and also that's good to hear. I'm good too. And how's it? Says David the Mod, taken nicely there by James Blackwell. Now going back across Jamie Booth off to Salisi Rayasi. He's only had 2 touches of the ball, and one of them was an interception try. So I'd say that just shows how little possession that the Hurricanes have had as well. Now Jamie Booth going back to Balin Sullivan. Good attacking run forward. Kurt Eklund able to drag him down alongside Ioane. We'll have to make sure that he does make some passes in the second half. Jason Sangster taking a little bit longer to get back to his feet there. Now Jamie Booth once again going around the side. Artie Savia trying to pierce through the gap. Hoskins, so Tutu being able to drag him down. Hey David, how's it going, bro? Now from Tesla, now Julian Savia running straight. And Tuivasa-Sheck able to drag him down. He would have dealt with quite a few big men in the NRL trying to drop their shoulders straight into him. Artie Savia, now the other Savia brother, is up getting it, almost popping on the side of the Blues. Hoskins Tutu trying to boot the ball a little bit there. Porting Rackety Stones, that was almost, I think it was a knock on. Yes, it was, even though it did bounce on the foot. Now Finley Christie kicking that one in behind. That's going to be advantage over now. And the Hurricanes now just out from their own 22. So Lisa Dayasi off to Geordie Barrett. Looking for the kick downfield and does get plenty of meterage on it. Awkward bouncing one, but sits up nicely for Harry Plummer. Cross to Zahn Sullivan now. Got a very good left foot, and he has kicked it straight down the field to Wes Hawson. He's now got this one in a bit of space. Going to be back in the pace as well. Zahn Sullivan is not going to be able to catch him. Little chip and chase here from Wes Hawson on the inside. Jamie Booth looked like he pulled up a little bit, but that is because Harry Plummer was back to take the mark. So I haven't missed the Canes game in almost 3 years now. Pretty much spent most of my Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights watching the Canes live. And there's he's Glenn the Fox. So that is very much so commitment. And I'm sure that their support, or your support for them at the moment, will be absolutely huge. Jacob McDonald says, "What's up, my guy? Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you're doing well." Currently, who will you be going for in this game? Are you Hurricanes or the Blues? And this one, Wes Hawson, though. Great run on the outside. Back in his pace. Round Balin Sullivan, who almost, or in fact, it was Zahn. We almost got the ankle tap on. Now Jamie Booth goes back across once again here. Garden bash up to Savia, trying to go through the gap. But that gap was closed pretty quickly by Tuivasa-Sheck. And also, it was Rieko Ioane, now Mark Talia, and wrestled down to the ground there. Now Geordie Barrett, Blues all the way. Go the Blues in there, says straight Angita. Well, they want good counter ruck, and they have been able to turn it over. Sullivan now going for that, kicking behind. Once again, got the Blues, but I'm a Cantabrian. And there as well, says Jacob, that one's gone into touch. And it is a good kick in behind to give us some subscribers. Jacob McDonald in there. I know he's sitting, what are you sitting on now, Jacob? 144, somewhere around there, I think it is. Or maybe 150. You're doing very well on YouTube. Just keep up the grind, mate. As it is paying off. And let's go Hurricanes. My actual team, says Richard Singh there. And also that's what they said last year and the year before and the year before and the year before. And there says Johnny Blaze, and how's it going? Says Mitch Richardson. I'm doing very well, thank you, mate. Currently loving this game. It's been a fast pace, and go vote for man of the match on the Blues Instagram story. And there, so who would you be giving your man of the match to at this current stage? For me, we're voting for the Blues man of the match. I mean, Satutu's been strong, but Eklund also has been looking pretty sharp. Who else we got? And that back line, I mean, I know a lot of people will probably give it to Roger Tuivasa-Sheck just because it's his first game, but he has given away 2 penalties, so I don't think you can actually give it to him just for this matchup. But currently now rolling forward nicely with the rolling maul, the Hurricanes here. Continuing to make their way forward. Kind of now it's stopped. They aren't going to be making any extra meters. There's going to be a little knockback. And now the Blues have taken it now. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck out to Rieko Ioane. Please pass the ball. He's not going to pass the ball. He goes straight at Julian Savia. Straight on the ball. It's a penalty, though, to the Blues. A little bit lucky there for that one. And also, Henry is not too happy with the result. Currently a Hurricane supporter through and through. 10 points difference, though. Between them still a little bit more time. I believe Harry Plummer with a 10-point difference. You would go for the 3 here, straight out in front. It's a gifted 3. Artie Savia trying to pass it back to Jamie Booth, and Josh Goodhue just getting a little bit of a touch on it. And also we have got there preparing to cover Six Nations tonight, and wish I could get away with Super Rugby highlights. Just too strict. Keep up the grind likewise. And there says Jacob, and yeah, a couple of good games later on tonight. It's going to be Scotland taking on France and also Wales taking on England. We will be covering both on the channel at the random hour of the night that they are taking place here in Kiwi land, also known as New Zealand. But currently, We are sitting 24 points to 14, 45 minutes down in this game. And also, hey, Hamish Rowe, sorry, I was busy at home at some work. I'm not able to do this game, or not able this game. Now I'm back now, says Michelle. No worries at all, mate. And currently, this game has been fast-paced. My voice will be struggling by the end of the night, I would think. We've still got the Rebels taking on the Western Force a little bit later on tonight, and that is going to be taking place at 9:45 p.m. kickoff. We are covering that one. The channel also part of our rugby gauntlet that we are doing 5 matches in a row, plus the test match cricket tomorrow, followed by more rugby with Ireland taking on Italy and maybe a game of the Gallagher Premiership if I am still standing, I guess you could say. But that is going to be going straight over. And now they scored 27 points to 14 in favour of the Blues. So now a 13-point lead here. The thing is, though, 13's probably not enough against the Hurricanes. We saw how well they fought back up against the Crusaders in last week's fixture. They were able to get themselves 32 points on the board. And like I mentioned sometimes, like 32 points, if you get 32 points, you don't expect to lose the game. But when you're playing the Crusaders and they get 42, it's exactly what is going to take place. Hoskins Tutu, a little bit of a knock on there. And because of it now, the scrum feed will be going the way of the Hurricanes. And also, yep, Irish fan here, says Luke, in that one. So I guess, what is your prediction for up against Italy? I assume you're going at least Ireland at the Aviva by 30, but maybe even higher. Do let me know. Because, I mean, Aviva Stadium's a hard enough stadium to play at when you're the All Blacks. Look at what happened last time we were there. But when you are Italy, we're still trying to really find their cemented spot in the Six Nations. Ireland are going to have a field day, I think. And what time will you go to sleep, do you think? Says Jacob. I believe... When is my sleep time? I did get to go to sleep for about 12 hours today or last night. So I believe at this stage I have got maybe like 2 hours as a nap after the England versus Wales game. Then we're into the test match. And then, actually it might be a few more hours, maybe like 3. No, it will only be 2. Never mind. Only about 2 hours, maybe a quick nap. Then I'll get up, do the cricket, and then probably sleep at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. So I've got about another 24 hours till I get a bit of a sleep, and then I get up for Ireland versus Italy. Either decide to stay up throughout the night for that, like, kind of next day, or, yeah, it's weird. At the moment, my sleep schedule is all over the place. Currently in Italy for the upset, says Crazy and Z, but that's the thing. Anytime I do lose sleep during the weekend, I make up for it the next 2 days after. So I'll probably sleep most of Monday, sleep most of Tuesday as my make-up kind of time, I guess you could say. Currently now going to be feeding that ball on once again for Jamie Booth. And also, you've got the legend, you got my respect, says Jacob. Yeah, my sleep schedule, it's gone out the window, but it's fun. It's fun. Normally, like, as soon as we're into about the 30th hour, like, my brain stops working, which can lead to some interesting commentary, to say the least. But currently now, there's going to be James Dolman saying, once again, we're going to have a scrum reset. This isn't quite working out, boys. Try and sort it out a little bit more, but currently 27 points to 14 here for the Hurricanes in Italy. 6-0 worst rugby match since Bledisloe 2000 as well. And also we've got the smiling face from Luke there as well. So Italy for the upset. And also that's the thing, bro, it's fun, says Jacob. Yeah, it's kind of like you just keep on, like, you get into a rhythm and you just keep on going. Like, we've probably done in the past year and a half over 150 live matches across all sports. And we just keep on going and also keep it all up. I'll hang around in there, says Jacob. Who knows, maybe in the future we could look at doing some sort of video together, perhaps. But Jamie Booth now going back across to Geordie Barrett, Julian Savia, the bus, running straight at his opposite number, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, who misses the tackle. And now Savia getting driven into touch there. Oh, ends up in the hands of, what's Tom Robertson? Is that a turnover? No. Okay, it was already still in the hands. And, hey, Jacob, I'm subbed to you. I watch your highlights. Well, I'm subbed to you. I watch your highlights. And there says Crazy and said, I guess that's a big thing. How do you get around the copyright? Because I know that, like, even if I was to show a second of footage, that'd strike me down, like, gone, pretty much. So I guess, is it dependent on your, like, I guess, your channel status, I guess? Or, like, kind of like what you say, like, non-profit and whatnot? Or not non-profit, but, like, community, what's it called? Something. I can't remember the terms. But now Adrian Cho, or in fact, it's Blake Gibson going back to Jamie Booth. This is looking good for the Hurricanes now. Going to be flat. And now where's Hudson on the outside, dragged down by Zahn Sullivan, only 5 meters short. Can the Hurricanes get over again? Gardner Bishop goes across to Asafa Moore, dragged down by Hodgman. And currently continuing to creep forward just a little bit more, 7 meters out. James Blackwell with another good carry. Nipple Lalala So able to drag him down. Can they get over the line? I believe this is 50th match for James Blackwell. They just mentioned Booth. Goes back to Blake Gibson. He would have spent a lot of time playing up against these Blues players in training. Now he has got to play up against them in the real match. That's going to be the advantage for Hoskins. So Tutu losing his footing. And now continuing. Just creep forward just a little bit further forward to suffer more. Wrestle backwards. And it's going back for the original penalty. Punch it up, speed it, or spread it to Dane. Boys executed in there, says Luke. Although they are missing Dane Coles for this match, sadly. But they've got bigger suffer more as the option. And also Kiwi says Ricardo, and also Super Rugby is a no-go. Yeah, they're very strict, aren't they? Like, we had a live stream for Super Rugby AU last year. It hadn't started, and we got a copyright strike because they said we were using the name as well. And also a lot of the clips get copyright claimed, which means you lose the revenue. But I've always been okay with that. But as far as copyright strikes, you've got to be pretty unlucky. However, Super Rugby and URC, okay, so the URC do it as well. And you're wanting to win. Kiwi Lad says Thomas. At this stage, it's a tricky one because the Blues are leading by 13, so I think they should win. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. If BDG, I'm BDG, I changed account. As I says Ricardo there, and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck is going to be what everyone in this country will be talking about tomorrow, says David the Modern. Don't muck around and just hit you with strikes, and you can go to bed and wake up with your channel terminated. Yeah. And it's certainly not what you want to see. Luckily, they have the copyright system how you can kind of, I guess you can counter, or not counterclaim it, but just kind of say that you haven't done anything wrong. But in that case, if you have got their footage, they just go, we got you. We got you here. But currently, Jamie Booth looks like he's in a bit of strife because it was Adrian Choate all over him. Hoskins, a Tutu trying to turn it over in the breakdown. Gets the knock on. Or in fact, it was the rolling maul, I think it was, or just got held. So now the scrum, and there's a Safa living in Auckland, 12K subs, I think, and his YouTube channel got cancelled because of Super Rugby. And there says Johnny Blaze got cancelled. Is that 12K? I'm trying to think of who that is because I might have known him possibly. One moment, we will go here. Is it? No, not so. I know that there's another South African fella I had seen and can't wait for the game in a few hours. And the Blues are playing a very good game. They definitely deserve the win, says Thomas. Yeah, they've got a good back line. Forward pack. Loose forwards are working hard here. Currently, Alpha Tonga Fussy making his way out onto the field. And that fella sent me an email asking if I could help him, says Jacob. Do you know what his YouTube channel was called, Jacob, out of curiosity? You don't have to put it if you don't want to, but I'm trying to think of the name of it because I think I've seen him. I can't think of who it is. And I couldn't do anything, says Jacob. Yeah, that's the thing. Even no matter the size of your YouTube channel, you just don't have the power. And Living Abroad, was it Living Abroad? Is it that channel? So is his channel completely gone now? Is there no because what was he doing before the highlights of Super Rugby on his channel? Now it's going to be put in once again. Am I late? Says Game On Dude. Little bit, 52 minutes in, but there is still time left in this game, and it has been a very exciting one. Bit of a stalemate here in the last little while, but now Mark Talia going to be kicking that ball in behind. Down to the halfway line, Geordie Barrett. No, Wes Hulson instead now has it. He's got Barrett on the outside. That one has been wrestled down now. It's going to be close. James Blackwell. And at the moment, the Blues have been ruthless in the breakdown. If they have the opportunity to be able to turn it over, just doesn't quite work out now. Wrestled down once again there. Safamo. It's a turnover clean by Blue. And also, are you talking about something else? I think he was the one that I was thinking of, but he might not be the one. It's called something else, Media Rugby. And there, see, his channel's still up at the moment. So is it, how many strikes has he got at this point in time? But now Mark Talia continuing to drive his way forward, kicking it in behind. And that is going out on the full. He's already grinding with a new channel. He'll be okay, says Jacob McDonald. And also, I think Rebels will get their first win later. And also, it was a PR sport. And also, Living Abroad says that was close to a turnover. Savia had actually popped up in favour of the Hurricanes, but then the turnover did come their way. And currently now sitting about 40 metres out, kicking it back downfield, taken nicely by Harry Plummer inside of the 22. Got miles of time to be able to line up this kick. Get as many metres on it as it can. It's a good kick. Do they take it quickly? Garden Bishop does. That looks close to forward. Very flat. But now Geordie Barrett going for the kicker behind, trying to go for the skitty one. It goes over the head of Caleb Clark, but now he regathers. And also, I was here for the first 2 minutes. 2 minutes, what about 2 cents rugby? I don't think it would have been as fun, but now Caleb Clark running hard. That's a deliberate knockback, I guess, so that's fine. You're allowed to do that. For Balin Sullivan, he's come out of nowhere. And what did I say, living abroad? I'll keep my mouth shut. Yeah, and also I was here in the first few minutes. I did see earlier on the live stream, and now Connor Garden-Bishop, or in fact, it's Jackson Garden-Bishop, his brother, Safa quick hand, Sangster. Now after Salisi Rayasi, chip and chase here. It's going close to the touchline. Harry Plummer has to take it. Fires it back across to Finley Christie. And currently, this game doesn't seem like we're going to get any breaths. At this stage, man speaks only once every 5 minutes as well. And there's Tesla. And now going back around, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck dragged down by Lomax. And still continuing to creep their way towards the halfway line. Marcel Renata first carry. And also, we've got that. Can you give me the seconds on the clock so I can sync with you? So we are currently sitting 55 minutes and 12 seconds now. Taking over, Harry Plummer's just put up the box kick. And now Mark Talia not able to take it. I believe it was a knock on. Yes, it was. And they will be going back for the penalty. Now we have got ourselves the scrum reset. We have 55-25 currently on the clock with Tom Robinson. The question is how long until the fatigue starts to set in for both of these sides. Caleb Clark, he's still got plenty of place going around the outside of Wes Horson. Not an easy thing to do. And Balin Sullivan, he's come out of absolutely nowhere to cut that off. I see that Stephen Perifetta is out on the field as well. I believe that would have been replacing Zahn Sullivan by the looks of it. And sure, says Jacob. And also, are you watching this live on Sky or just watching it on the app? I am watching it on Sky Go so that I can have my headphones and everything plugged in and watch it through the monitor that I am doing the streaming through. Caleb Clark at the moment continuing to go well. And like they're saying, Caleb Clark, he was brilliant in 2021, but then he did miss out on going to the All Blacks. Went to the Sevens side of it, actually went as a replacement for the Sevens. And also, I'm an Aussie at the moment. I got to use Stan Sports. Says Jacob, are you over there for, I guess, work, or are you just over there because you can't quite get back due to restriction? And what is that app? And there says Game On, dude. So the app that I'm on is Sky Go, but it's also on Sky Sport Now if you have both of those options in New Zealand. And also, otherwise, would have used Sky Sports Now. And but they are showing Josh Goodhue, 4 carries, 6 tackles, 2 turnovers, 1 for himself there. And naked on stream swearing a pissed as well. And there's Johnny Blaze. I remember back when that first started, how it would be the randomest things you guys said that 2 Cents was doing. And like at the very start, I didn't know if you were like being serious or not. But now I kind of know that normally I like to think that's not the case. And today I will be a member of Kiwi, or I will become a member of Kiwi. And there as well, so it's usually appreciated. We have got our channel membership where you can get those exclusive emojis that we have got over here recently. I got 2 kids and they live over here, life things. And then there says Jacob, hopefully you are enjoying it over there. It's a lot warmer than New Zealand in certain regions, that is for sure. Garden-Bishop now kicks it up. Oh, I think Finley Christie almost ended up running into the knee of Garden-Bishop. And now Mark Talia trying to pierce his way back through Sangster. He's been impressive in this game as well, making a lot of tackles. Both number 5s working hard. Luke Romano now carrying forward. Blackwell dragging him down. Now Finley Christie, a little bit of a juggle there, but he has been able to just hang on to it. Was that the advantage arm going out for the referee? No, it wasn't. No, the score on the right. And there, as well as says Game On, dude. And also the score on the right, it is actually just flash score that I have got it on, where it just lets you know the score. And I do it as a screen share. Stephen Perifetta, nice run forward. Plays for Taranaki in the Bunnings NBC. That looked flat, big hit on the ribcage of Harry Plummer. Would have felt that one big time. Is he up? Yeah, he's just getting a couple breaths there as well for himself. And also we've got there a few thingamabobs from Jacob. I'm not too sure what that is. That is a 1. That is a 9. And that is a divided by sign. I don't even know you could put a divided by sign on PC. So I assume you're on your phone at this point in time. I'm looking at my keyboard. And also Hurricanes aren't starting off too. Ain't starting off to a very good start this year, says Thomas. Although saying that, Crusaders and Blues are always going to be right up there in terms of the rankings. So you've got 2 tough games to get you underway. Next week, they have got their game. I believe they're playing the Highlanders. Then they have got themselves the Chiefs the week after. And then they are back to facing off against the Highlanders once again. Although they've got Moana Pacifica scattered throughout there, I should say. They've also got their match coming up. And also, yeah, mate, that's a mistake. I'll get quiet in there, says Jacob McDonald. It looks like Geordie Barrett actually coming off the field now, and same with Luke Romano. So that will be Peter Umaga Jensen off. Finley Christie also off Peter Umaga Jensen out there, and you're going to be doing the Connacht game. I will be doing the Six Nations at that stage, but it will end up, I will keep you guys updated on what's happening at Connacht in their game up against they playing the Sharks or the Stormers? I think they're playing the Stormers, aren't they? If I'm not wrong, I probably have that round the wrong way. And I want to see Hurricanes get in front. And then says Jake, and when do you want to play Warzone, Hamish? He says, like, I haven't actually. That's the thing. I've got my Xbox set up. I think the last time I played it was 2 weeks ago or so when me and George filmed a gaming video, or maybe a week or so ago. Other than that, though, I haven't actually had any opportunity to play it. So I feel like that's something I want to do a little bit more in the near future. Although with the amount of rugby, cricket, and everything going on, there is certainly not a lot of break time for ourselves. Rebels versus Force that is taking place, and that will be at 9:45 p.m. kickoff. We are covering that on the channel also, so be sure to stick around for that next game. That is the game that is taking place straight after this one at Hamish Road Brumbies today. It was very nice and fine victory of the Brumbies here. They played well against the Fijian Drua and Hamish, and a Warzone in there. Says Ricardo there. Yeah, it is Call of Duty on Xbox that he is talking about. Well, Call of Duty Vanguard, I think, has come out more recently, hasn't it? But now going to the short side, Jamie Booth, wide cut out pass there out to Julian Savia. Dragged down nicely, 40 metres out now. The Hurricanes, if they score a try here, they'd actually only be one converted try away. That is assuming that the kick goes over. And also we have got the, that's 3-6 of the rugby grind, mate. And that's the thing, even Rugby Challenge, I don't really get too many opportunities to play. Although we played it recently, me and George, and it was not great. Overall, I think I like that player a lot better. Earlier on, I played Warzone a lot. And there's Ricardo now. A good run forward from Braden Iosi. The Manawatu representative was always great with his offload game as well. Garden Bishop now out to Julian Savia. It's a sufferer more on the outside. Doesn't quite link up with him. And it was a great tackle made by Sam Gary. Now gets back to his feet. It's a clean turnover from him. Gives it straight back to Jamie Booth, though, who now has Tom Robinson in the breakdown. Not able to turn it over. Now Artie Savia driving straight at the referee, which is a good way of trying to avoid anyone tackling it, although they probably will still end up still tackling it. And also, is that 12 on Savia's back? I have just started watching. It is indeed. He has moved from 11 last week to 12 for this game, marking up with Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. And then also he was, I believe it's Silisio Arce, in fact, who is going to be out on the left wing. And also, so now who's at the top of the table after round 2 ends. We have still got one more game coming up, but the Brumbies currently sitting top with the Crusaders behind them. That's going to be the Rolling Maul. And they have been able to turn that one over for the Blues on the 22-metre line. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Good tip. And there says Ricardo. But I guess that's a good question as well. Rebels versus Western Force. Currently on the betting odds, it is $1.87 per team. Who's going to win that game? Do let me know. I'm back in Western Force, I think, might be able to sneak it. Also go Blues. And also I've been back in the bus to make it back into the ABs for the last 2 years. Thoughts, says Jacob. I mean, I feel like he's not a mile off. But he's still probably, I guess the only thing that might be impacting it is those kind of younger players coming through, such as a Silisio Arce. I think Lester Faiana Nuku might make it into the All Blacks before it is going to be Julian Savia. Like, I would like to see him in action with his brother, because then we'd have 3 sets of brothers in the team. We'd have Rico Ioane and Akira. We'd have Geordie Barrett, Bowden Barrett, and also Scott. And then you'd have Julian Savia and Artie Savia. So you'd have 7 of your 15 players are brothers in your starting lineup. It's impressive. And also, we have got win this game, please. Says it is Philia there, and Hamish, Rebels ain't that as well in there. Says Ricardo, I know, but the Western Force, they play good rugby against good teams. And I think that this game will be an example of that as well, of them having a close game. Now down the wing, Caleb Clark. He's in some good space, kicks it in behind now, going to be chasing this one. He's going to be able to wait for the bounce. It bounces into touch. Unfavorable one. And well, 3 sets of brothers would be sweet. And there says Jacob, and also the Blokes' first major rugby game. And there says Nazi there. Yeah, that is, of course, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Been able to give himself, he's had a good debut so far. He actually asked for that ball to be kicked for by Caleb Clark. 6 years will have a heart attack before they can shoot. There says Ricardo, but currently now Jacob Devery with this line out throw 20 metres out or so from their own line here. The Hurricanes, in fact, it's probably closer to 15. Sangster takes it nicely. And now Braden Iosi. Once again, having the carry forward. I don't see Devon Flanders, but I see Ben May, whose face we have seen many times. 101st game for him now in Super Rugby. It's a good clearance, good exit from Jackson Garner-Bishop. That is something that he has been working on well in recent history, is his exits from the 22. He's always making a few extra meters, but currently we have only got another 18 minutes left of this game. And then after that, we are going to get to see the game between the Rebels and the Western Force starting at 9:45 p.m. Ruben Love also out on the field, and Jamie Booth making way for Richard Judded. Speaking of Ben's, speaking of Ben's, straight away I'm thinking Ben Smith. Who else we got? Ben May. Oh, speaking of Ben's, that one as well with Ben May, but now it's going off. And also, where Ben Lamb is. I believe he's at the Bordeaux Beglays, or Beglays. Hopefully I've said that correctly, but he's in Bordeaux playing for the top 14 side, and you're in a 10.500 meter. Jeez, I couldn't even run probably a 10.5 10 meter. No, I should be able to get over 10 meters in that long. Maybe 50 meters might be a struggle. And I said, don't put us in jail, says Tesla there. Now going back, Rico Ioane stepping forward, the offload that time to Perofeta, and this is a lot better from Rico Ioane. Zahn Sullivan, actually, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, in fact, was playing as halfback. Now Sam Knock waiting for this ball to be recycled, and it is available for them. Tom Robertson, big number 6. Let's carry forward. Sam Knock now going back across. Good shoe. That was a rough pass. Tuanga Pasi, and it's a knock on go. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck there, and I'm surprised Lions did good against Leinster. But man, that was a boring game, says Ricardo. Kind of glad I didn't get up for it in the end, but I was going to watch it. I've still got it available on Spark Sport. So pretty much, I guess, the question of what I'm going to be doing outside of live streaming in the next 40 hours or so, sleep and watch another games of rugby that have been on for the weekend. I'll probably rewatch the New Zealand games of Super Rugby, rewatch the games from last week as well. Talking to Corey Jane at the moment. About 27 points to 14. Currently 16 minutes left. Still 2 converted tries is the difference between these two sides. Currently off Tonga Fussy, actually playing on the loose head side, and should I spoil? And there says Ricardo, I do know the score. I know that such and such did win. I'm not going to spoil it just in case anyone else hasn't seen the scoreboard. But yeah, it will be a game that I will be watching afterwards. Well, I ran 100 meters in 1 minute 38 seconds. I'm like a human Ferrari in there. Vroom, from Johnny Blaze. The thing is, like, those people who run like 10 miles or 10 kilometers and just continue running, I'm like, how do you do that? Because my body, like, if I try and run more than like 5 meters, my ankle's like, hey, you want to get a little bit of the wobbly leg going. Probably not 5, maybe a little bit longer than 5. Like, if I ran out to the letterbox, I'd probably be puffed. And Don Segner now making his Blues debut, though. That is replacing Tom Robinson. Now, going to be ready to go here. 40 meters out for the Blues. Ricky Riccatelli against his old side. And Hamish Pro this weekend is full rugby game. And they would have had to change the calls, because or else they will know exactly where he's going for Ricky Riccatelli. Currently now waiting at the back. And it is going to be a nice rolling ball forward here for the Blues, something that they've done very well. They've already had 2 tries for Eklund in this match, and also Hamish Pro this weekend is full rugby game. Says Michelle, it is indeed. And also cricket still just around the corner with the test match between New Zealand and the Black Cats. That one is going down to a knee now. Ricky Riccatelli breaking off the back. Ben May trying to slow him down. Hands on the ground there for Blackwell. Unable to contest, I should say. Now Stephen Perofeta going wide out to Mark Dallaire. Cover defense there from Salisi Rayasi. Good fend on Balin Sullivan. But Rayasi able to mark up with his man around the side now. And use a little bit of that quick recycle ball. I think it was Rico Ioane, in fact, trying to go through Balin Sullivan, trying to counter ruck. And working hard, and Anton Segner get in behind, boy. 110 kgs of German-made muscle. Let's go from Johnny Blaze. And he is certainly a future star for the Blues. Flat pass there from Sam Knock. Great hands from Adrian Choate, who had to fall over backwards just to be able to take that ball, Sam Knock. Once again going across. Couple more yawns kicking in. Harry Plummer going to Stephen Perofeta, not able to find the offload that time, but the Blues slowly marching their way up the field. I just realised the scoreboard is missing at the moment on the screen, but they've got the advantage, and the score is currently sitting 27 to 14. Sam Knock once again going back across. Now the scoreboard is back 66 minutes into this game. Off of Tuanga Fussy finds the offload now to Mark Dallaire. Once again going to be tackled hard by Richard Judd. And man, Hamish, you're racist to rugby in there, says Ricardo. I'm racist to rugby. What does that mean? And now Ricky Riccatelli going back once again. And also you played FIFA. I see. We did a little bit. That's a great run from Marcel Renato. I got so confused for a second there, but now only 5 meters out off of Tuanga Fussy. Gets the pop-up pass. Perofeta passes on the outside. Mark Dallaire goes himself. Doesn't get over the line. Who wants it? I think Roger Tuivasa-Sheck trying to get right in there. Ricky Riccatelli now only a meter short of the line around this side there. Sam Derry goes himself. This might be held up. And it is going to be put down, and RDL is here in the chat as well. Welcome in. Okay. On-field decision is actually try for Sam Derry. He might have got it over the top, but they are going upstairs. See whether or not that is going to be the case. And also Kiora says, RDL, welcome in, mate. Currently one more game tonight of Super Rugby, then 2 more games of the Six Nations going to be taking place at the random hours of the night. 3:15, Scotland versus France, and then Wales going to be taking on England at 5:45 a.m. Oh, has he got control of it? There's Sam Derry, or has it slipped out of the hand? I'm seeing someone's hand there. I think that's Sam Derry's arm. And also, D's nuts, says Ricardo. Nice. And also, New Zealand Rugby Rocks, it does indeed right. I think this ball might have been just a tad short for a start. But is it a hand on the line? I mean, his hand is certainly down on the ball at the very end. You can award the try. Sam Derry is able to score the try there. He's only been on the field for a very short amount of time, and now that will be the 4th try of the match. And this is actually big for them because now it does mean that it is going to be, one moment, we will put that 68 minutes in. That now means that if they get one more try here for the Blues, they get themselves the bonus point win over the Hurricanes. And these nuts are nearly won presidency over the great Tangerine Man Trump in there, says Johnny Blaze. Sam Derry, in the end, it was a good carry forward for him and just popped the ball down over the line. And also we have got there, please give me more commentary on the rugby. Stop the unnecessary comments in there, says Xavier. At the moment, we were just waiting for the try to be awarded. We're still waiting for Harry Plummer to actually take the kick. We currently sit in 25 metres out, who names themselves these nuts. Someone who's committed to their craft, that is for sure, in Blues Nation. And there says to Uso, but now it will be Harry Plummer lines it up. Oh, hits the post, still just goes short. Oh, it hits the post and bounces out from that one, so it just misses. 32 points to 14 now for the Blues, and they are only 1 away from getting to the bonus point here for themselves. But Sam Derry only been on the field for a couple minutes, scoring the try 68 minutes into this game now. And there are a lot of Sams, and also, I mean, that's the thing for the Brumbies, they've got a lot of Toms. It seems to be Sam is the common name here for the Blues. Sam knocked down Barry Will. And then there says Ricardo. Currently now not quite taken cleanly, but still going to be available here for the Blues. Sam Knock at the back, going to be putting up the box kick now. Let's go high, and Sangster just not quite able to charge it down. There's about 3 men going for this ball, and they're all from the same team. Wes Hulson goes down hard. It's going to be the penalty to the Blues. Offside. It's going to be the call, and if Harry Plummer flops, you could always be a plumber in there. Says Tesla. He'd probably be a good plumber, Harry Plummer. Overall, I feel like anyone who's got the last name that is actually to do with their craft is normally quite good. Although now I can't think of it. Like John O'Cook, if he wasn't playing cricket, he'd probably be quite a good chef, perhaps for himself. Now Mark Talia did end up getting that penalty against him in the end. So the Hurricanes and Harry Plummer has huge leads compared to his upper body. So there's Johnny Blaze, but now he will have to use those leads to defend because they are only going to be 10 metres out here for the Hurricanes. And it will be Jacob Devery, the youngster, and the opportunity to feed this one in. I believe he was playing for, was he playing for Hawke's Bay? I think everyone who's playing well at the moment is playing for Hawke's Bay. Also, Brandon Iosi, Manawa too. Artie Savia breaking off the back now. Nicely taken by Peter Umaga Jensen, has to claim it behind him, tackled by Tuivasa-Sheck. On the side now, Savia getting that leg drive going, only 5 metres out. Peter Umaga Jensen around the side of the breakdown. And I see a Salisi Rayasi down the bottom of the screen. Keep an eye out for him in the next few phases. Hurricanes now, what side do they go to? Jacob Devery pierces the gap himself. Doesn't quite get over the line though. Now Savia, does he take it on himself? Passes it off. Backline movement. Ruben Love out to Salisi Rayasi. And he scores the try. Well, I guess I couldn't have called that one much better if I tried. Watch out for him. He's on the outside and he scores the try. So Lisa Rayasi, his second try of the match now. That's going to be in the 70th minute. Now he is working his way towards a hat trick. And Eklund, he will be unable to get his, but Salisi Rayasi possibly could have. It just didn't look like they had many numbers down the bottom side for the Blues. So I decided why not put the shout out there, give it out to Salisi Rayasi, and he scores a try. And now that is going to be, and good call says Nazi Williams. I think that's the first time I've ever actually predicted something well. So I guess I'll take it. Well done, me. Normally I'll be like, oh, this game's going to have try scored in the first 3 minutes, and then it's just try in the 83rd or something like that to win the game. It's almost Saracens versus Leicester Tigers. I think that would have been for that matchup. And now Ruben Love lining this one up. 22. It's the number on his back, trying to make it a little bit closer. He does get it straight over. So now the game gets a little bit closer. Now 21 points to the Hurricanes. They haven't actually awarded them the points on the scoreboard yet. Hopefully they do soon. That is going to be Salisa Arce picking up his second try of the match. Leon McDonald looking just a tad, little bit more nervous at being now 21 points to 32. 2 converted tries here would win the game for the Hurricanes. 1 converted try and an unsuccessful conversion would still lead to the win for the Hurricanes as well. They always have a late finish in a game, a late flourish of the Canes, but taken nicely by James Blackwell. Looks like he's bleeding out his nose at the moment a little bit, but it is still going to be on the side of the Canes. Judge goes back across now. Sullivan now on the outside to Ruben Love. Ball on the inside. Looked like Devery might have been passing it. No, instead now there. And it's stolen there by the Blues. I think that was out though. Okay, it's going to be the Hurricanes who have got the line out. Asia try scoring freak. Yet Jason Holland plays the bus. It's 11. Too many sugar-coated donuts for Holland. His mind has gone cuckoo. And one try for Roger Tuivasa-Sheck on his debut will make my day for sure. Sorry. So has been anyone wondering about the NRL? The Panthers have just lost to the Eels 36-0. But that is in preseason, we should mention. So it's certainly a different result. Jacob Devery, he fell awkwardly. And it seems like now might have gotten a little bit of a crunch on the neck. Ooh. Forearm to the head from Mark Talia. And he's ducked into it. I think they are going to say that Talia did wrap enough there, though. James Blackwell, heaps of heart, like a size, the world's smallest lock. And there's Johnny Blaze. And of course, someone that we do normally talk about as being not the biggest lock, but certainly plenty of heart, Norm Maxwell. We have actually got a special video that we will be doing with him on his birthday, / we will be filming it before his birthday, but releasing it on his birthday, which will be a bit of a question and answer type one. So if anyone has any questions that you would like to ask an ex-Crusader, an ex-All Black, and Norm Maxwell, do let me know, and I will star them, and then I will screenshot them so that I can ask them during the kind of Q&A that we have got lined up with Maxi. Okay. Oh, okay. Devery's going off for an HIA at the moment, and I think that is why he stayed down for so long. He just got it right on the forehead. They're going to be continuing. Lost 4 by Blue. Going to be the scrum here. And I believe if Devery is off, Asafa Moore is back out on the field. That's scary to have that man come back out for a little bit longer in this game because he is a beast and he will run hard at the line. Does get the opportunity, but now Richard Judd will be feeding this ball in, like I mentioned, 22 meters out here for the scrum feed of the Hurricanes. Now they are going to be putting in this ball. Starting to edge slightly backwards, but they've still got this one. And time left, please, says Benny. At this stage, we have got another 73. Oh, sorry, not 73. We've had 73 minutes, so another 7. They still haven't updated the score to give them 21. Peter Umaga Jensen now. Geez, that was a big fend to the face of Harry Plummer. And Norm Maxwell and the Rawini legend ask him if he ever goes back home to Rawini. I will start that one, and I will put that there. There we go. And currently now the Hurricanes continuing to make their way forward. The scoreboard is deceptive. It is 21 points at the moment to the Hurricanes. Ruben Love gets back up, goes again. Now dragged down by Ricky Riccatelli. Still another 6 minutes. Salisa Arce on the outside of Julian Savia, drawn past the beast. Julian Savia now passing it off to Asafa Moore. Now back Richard Judd. Good attacking run there from Reed Prinsep. Getting the go forward. Judd goes back now. Ruben Love. Backline movement. Good step there from Wes Horson to just throw the defenders off their mark a little bit. Almost going straight through. Ricky Riccatelli unable to turn it over in the breakdown. Salisa Arce, quick hands back to Julian Savia. Now once again tackled by Talia. And AB's hookers for 2022. Samasoni Moore and Tyrone Thompson. Let's go. So I guess you're ditching Coles and Taylor. And that one now will be once again now Devon Flanders. 10 phases in a row here for the Hurricanes. Braden Iosi passing that ball, or no, instead takes the contact there. Blake Gibson unable to turn it over. In fact, it was Adrian Choate. And Dees Nuts has changed his name to Dees Nuts as well. And also we have got there Norm Maxwell. Now you're talking almost as good as Storm and Norm Berryman And Desperate Rugby love it. It's a penalty to the Blues, though, in the breakdown. And I think it might have been Ricky Riccatelli who got them the turnover against his old side in the Hurricanes. Brutal for that man, but he has been able to turn it over extremely well. And around the side, Ben May did get forced backwards. Then from there, Jack Goodhue. And then Ricky Riccatelli was slightly involved in that one, but I believe it was originally Dunkin' Deason. I've just realized that's the Dunkin' Donuts logo, isn't it? Just changed with the words. Tell you what, that's commitment. I have to give you a round of applause for that one. But currently now 45 meters out, and the Blues will once again have the line out. And also, you've got in your misses, Johnny Blaze. But 6 carries, 8 tackles, turnovers 1, 2 for Josh Goodhue. He's been working extremely hard alongside Luke Romano in the lock department. But now Sam Derry, he is out on the field, and he actually was able to get himself the try extremely early on. 11 sub. Who is 11? Blue 11 sub. So that's going to be now Caleb Clark getting taken off this field. And that will be for Taniela Talia, who did have a decent start to Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. Unfortunately, ended up getting injured in the midfield when he was playing. But the fact that they can bring that man off the bench in this stage of the game with 4 minutes left and have him, that's a good side for the Blues, that is for sure. Anton Segnegal going straight through. He's got plenty of acceleration as well. Trying to back the pace, but dragged down by Ruben Love. And now Ricky Riccatelli continuing to drive his way forward. I believe they will still need another 2 tries here for the Blues if they do want that bonus point for being 3 or more tries ahead. Hoskins a 2-2 round the side. There's still time, though, for the Blues here. Only 4 minutes left. Sam not going to the short side. Great hands from Devon Flanders there. That was like taking a catch in the slip cordon. Well, that man just pretty much stuck to the hands. They either stick or they don't, and that one did well and truly. Now all over him there. It's Adrian Choate on Judge. Watch out. Randy Alder with the RKO as well, and Johnny Blaze. And there it's 32-22 there. Says Barry Green scoreboard. Still got it wrong. I think as you said that, they decided that they have woken up and they decided to do it. That's a penalty to the Hurricanes now. And if the Hurricanes can get themselves a converted try, that would take them up to 28 points, which would put them in with a chance of being able to go on and win this game. But not just that, they would get themselves the losing bonus point. Mark Talia trying to keep it in the field of play. Not going to happen, though. And now 25 meters out. That was a brilliant kick from Ruben Love. About as many meters as he physically could have for that one. And now 76 minutes through this matchup. The time is off. Jacob Devery is off due to the HIA, and Asafa Amoa now has this line out throw to put in. It's claimed nicely by Blackwell with the one arm. He's been doing nicely. Julian Savia straightens once again, tackled by Talia. Those two have had a good battle out there on the field. Balin Sullivan running straight at Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Does end up dragging him down. Now Judd goes back. IOC, good drawing pass. Flanders on the outside. Salisi Rayasi in the corner. I think he might have got it. And that might be the hat trick there for the Hurricanes. Number 11, Salisi Rayasi. And that will be the start of maybe a monumental comeback for them. I'm wondering if you use your headphone mic or another external one. Alternatively, you could even be using your inbuilt computer mic. So pretty much I have got myself a Blue Yeti. I used to use this one, but then for some reason it stopped working. So it just wouldn't work. But I was using that one, but now down. That's a try there for Salisi Rayasi. The try scoring ability of that man is phenomenal. He scored his second try in the 70th minute, scores his third try in the 76th, and the second number 11 we have seen of Super Rugby to score a hat trick. And this is 2 runs, or two rounds, I should say. And also the Blues play like this, then it will be their time as well. It says it was from, is it Pungi? Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Do let me know if I have got that wrong, though. And also nice try, says Jacob McDonald. And also the Hurricanes, says Tesla. So they are fighting back now. They move up onto 26 points for themselves. 26 or 27? Okay, they must be on 26. The scoreboard is very confused at the moment. It's only given them the 4 points. Or they... I don't know what the scoreboard's doing at the moment, but Ruben Love from the touchline. It's a good strike of the ball. It hits the post and bounces back out. So a converted try will be needed if they do want to go on and win this game. If they do stick the way that they are at the moment, they will get themselves the bonus point for being within 7 for the losing bonus point, which would be the first bonus point for the Hurricanes of the season. It's just great work from Brandon Iosi and Devon Flanders. I was talking about those 2 men earlier, saying when you got one, you want to have the other out there as well. And they've been able to somehow find a way of putting both of them on the field and both of them involved in that Salesi Reasi try. At the moment, him and Whainā Nuku have said that number 11 jersey for the ABs, we want it, and we are going to be coming for it in the near future, Barretts. But currently, a minute and a half left. Kicked off now by Harry Plummer. He kicks it long, and I think they are hoping that the Hurricanes would consider kicking it back to them. They are not going to do that, though. Julian Savia now running his way forward, making an extra 20 post-contact meters there for Savia. Judge goes back across now. Balin Sullivan linking up on the outside. Thomas Umaga Jensen. In fact, it was Peter. Where's Husson steps on the inside. Tackled by Segner now. Okay, still continue wing. That was a weird way of saying that, but continuing to make their way forward. Balin Sullivan now fending off Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. The Hurricanes, wide cut-out pass out to Artie Savia down the wing. He's got the pace, trying to make it an easier kick. It's going to be straight out in front. The Hurricanes are going to win this game. And Artie Savia scores the try. And that is going to be in the 31st minute. The Hurricanes score it in similar fashion to what we saw for preseason up against the Crusaders. The Blues are stunned. The Hurricanes have fought back, and that is not just going to be 1 point for being within 7. That is going to be the full 4 available. Brilliant run from Balin Sullivan, a game changer for the Hurricanes. And in the 80th minute now, they have been able to get that one. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck misses the tackle. We have got the IF -6 well, and Artie Savia, what a machine. And there says Tesla and also Bra. And well, says Ray, what a finish to this game. And also, we have got there the Blues from John Jr. But Balin Sullivan fending off Roger Tuivasa-Sheck and came by the Canes well. And yes, and there says Richard, and Artie Savia's feet were literally millimeters from the touchline. And there's 4 bonus points available. And there says Jack, well, sorry, the extra bonus point, I should say, that they were going to be able to get for themselves. They now get the 4 for the win. So I guess in a way that is bonus points. Leon McDonald about to rip his own hair out there. He threw his headset down. He literally sat there going, what just happened to us? And apparently there's a hurricane in Auckland right now. And there says and also let's go, says Clearman also. Well, this game was touted as Savia versus Roger Tuivasa-Sheck clash, and Savia showed us who was the king. Says David the Mod, and also what's says Jacob. But that is the end of the game. The Hurricanes win it up against the Blues. The opening fixture for the Blues this season. Oh. They're checking the kick now. What are they checking for the kick? Oh, late drama. This kick may not have gone over. So they're going to be checking it just to make sure. Yeah, it's fine. It's gone over. Flags are up. Don't know what we're checking. It's gone over. Weird. Wait for it to end, but that is going to be the game. The Hurricanes win this one in the end. And also we've got the Hamish Knott rugby stadiums are covered or not, as in the background. So this one, it is covered for in Dunedin, but most rugby stadiums are out in the kind of, just out in the open. So it has gone over. That will be the end of this game. And also we have got there, what a classic encounter. Exactly right. We knew that this game was possibly going to have the potential of being a match of the weekend, and that is certainly what it has been. Leon McDonald, don't rip out you too much here. Probably haven't hardly any left, and also what's going on in there. And also WTF says, David, the weirdest way that I think I've seen game in for a while. The Blues were saying, no, that hasn't gone over. Referee checked it, it had gone over. And that's the end of the game. The Hurricanes, though, winning this game 33 points to 32, and 2 sets will be gutted. And there says Gunnacoin and Dam, says Corey, and Leon McDonald took some big head knocks back in the day, says Jacob, and he is certainly going to be headbutting a few of his players out there for the Blues. But Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, the first game for him in Super Rugby for the Blues, and it is a defeat, and felt real bad for him, says Jacob McDonald. And also we have the Hurricane comeback, and now we've had a bet on the Blues to win. A great call, boss, says David the Mod. And what a game. And we have currently still got one more happening a little bit later on tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The Western Force taking on the Rebels, followed by another one that we are going to have not just one game, but 2 of the Six Nations. First of which, Scotland versus France. Second of which, England versus Wales. We are covering both of them on the channel. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Geez, Artie Savia's feet were close to the touchline there. But then not only did he have to still keep on driving through the tackle with Sam Knock, then he made it the easiest kick possible. And he had to, because it was almost missed by Ruben Love. And nonetheless, That is going to be a brilliant game of rugby. And also, Hamish, awesome. Collins, I hope you all have a great night. Have a good night in the Hurricanes in there. And that's, thanks. Amos in there. Says audio on Sunday tomorrow. Yes, it is indeed. And also YouTube watching crosses 170. Well, so cool. And all right, see Hamish and 2 cents is probably raging and reciting a few classic drunken scenes from Once Were Warriors. And there says Johnny Blaze. Yeah, certainly not the result. I don't think too many people saw this one coming, but I mentioned it in about 60 minutes. Crusaders finished their match well against the Crusaders. That's a lie. Crusaders didn't finish their game well against Crusaders because they were playing themselves. Hurricanes finished their game well against the Crusaders. Hurricanes won their preseason game with a last-minute try up against the Crusaders in preseason, and now I've been able to win that game. I want to come back for the Hurricanes, exactly right. And also, nonetheless, there's Johnny Lace, also 2 cents probably uppercut his nan, says Tesla. And Canes win, lose, draw, woo. And there says Crazy NZ, and come on, man. 10K subs is on the way. It's getting closer. And Hurricanes winner says Kurama. That is indeed. I love your Rugby Challenge 4 bits. Vince, man, keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Corey Pro. Hugely appreciate it, mate. What a game. What a game of rugby to close out the New Zealand side of Super Rugby for the weekend. We've still got Western Force versus the the Rebels that has taken place in the later stage. And what did you think? Or who did you think would win between Connacht? Or who do you think will win between Connacht and the Stormers? If it's in Ireland, I will say Connacht. If it's in South Africa, I'd say Stormers. And maybe even still Stormers, even though it's in Ireland. And also, did Hurricanes win? They did indeed. 33 points to 32 for this one. Brilliant result for them. And that will put them back in the running for being about mid-table, I believe, because this is what it was sitting at before the game between the Brumbies, and also it was up against Fiji and Drua. So the Brumbies are in first at the moment, followed by the Crusaders, followed by Reds, Waratahs. Then it is going to be the Chiefs, followed by the Hurricanes. I believe they will be sitting there. But the Blues actually get themselves a bonus point for losing, so they will be up at around that 7 or the 8 mark themselves as well. But next week's fixtures that we will be covering on the channel also, it is going to be these ones as follows. Crusaders, they take on Moana Pacifica. Fiji and Drua taking on the Rebels. Western Force taking on the Reds. Blues versus Chiefs. Hurricanes versus Highlanders. And then Brumbies versus Waratahs. These times are all in New Zealand time. So, depending on where you are in the world. This one, though, to be determined, for the Western Force Reds game. That is going to be a wait and see kind of encounter. We have also got there, let's go. Sorry for swearing. And also, it's in Ireland, says Johan there. And also, it's Ireland, though, and Stormers will win still, says D's Nuts. And also, it'll be a really good game. Yeah, I think it will be close. I made the call. They come back. And there says Jake. And also, let's go, baby. I just need the Brumbies and the Reds to win my multi-bet, bro. It says Dashi. So the Reds, they ended up winning, and the Brumbies ended up winning. So you've actually got your multi now. And also, D's Nuts said, was I banned? I don't believe so. Not that I did anyway. I've just been sitting here. And also, which Savia scored, it was Artie Savia was able to score the final one. But the man of the match, Salisia Reasi, I would like to think would get it with 3 tries. But Balin Sullivan, he is a future star for them in Hurricane, tearing through the streets of Auckland. Thank you, Mother Nature. Good riddance. Let's go in there. And also, we have got the Blues success Fiona Young there. And yeah, not the start to the season that they would have been after. For this one, apparently there's a Hurricane in Auckland. They say it's Savia. And there, now one more game of the night for Super Rugby, and then 2 more. And Bandy's Nutsy swearing on chat. And there's his Barry Green. Is he? Wait, where is he? Stormers will win? Is that the one? I think you're thinking of Henry Samuel maybe for swearing in the chat. He said, please don't ban me. But now at this stage, we are going to be back for the Rebels versus Western Force. That is in 30 minutes time. So be sure to grab yourselves a drink, grab yourselves something to eat, and get ready for another game of Super Rugby and then the Six Nations a little bit later on. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you all for the next one. And also, one more for the Rebels. Then show me the money. And also, I see Jacob McDonald was in your chat. Hamish, that must be huge for you, Hamish. And there says Johan. Yeah, we did have a bit of a chat there. And I got to go by, says Corey. And also, how frustrating. I realized I said that I was going to end the live stream. And now I've just talked at 1,000 words a minute. Why did the Blues just give up in the last 15 minutes, says Senza. And also, see you guys soon, says Deadly and Barry Wynn, says D-Tuts. And also, I supported the Canes since I was 1 year old because the Canes come to my house once. And there says Henry. But unless I bet in this live stream, or else I never will, I don't think, which would be interesting. See how long it goes for. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you